Sports Center.
Prescott is in the gun. Back on his right. They'll give it to Pollard. He's going to be hit from it. Oh, he kept it. He's still good running up the middle. Touchdown. Oh, he faked me out.
He faked everybody out, didn't he? Cowboys got a big win in Los Angeles last night, heading to the bye week with a record of 4-2. ALCS taking the day off, heading to Arlington for Game 3 tomorrow night.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the one San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Cowboys get a win last night.
Jason, you're such a good mood today. Got another Cowboy shirt on. Not sure how many of those you have.
74.
Yeah, apparently. You wore one yesterday, another one today. Looks like the same one, though.
It really isn't.
Are you sure?
Yesterday, go back and look. It was a Nike shirt. This is a Tommy Bahama shirt. But I've got a variety of cowboy blue polos that all kind of do look the same. I'm with you there.
Cowboys get a win, and it's hard to get a win on the road. Ugly football game last night.
And that's the beauty, is it not? Cowboys get a win. There was a lot of good in that game for the Dallas Cowboys. There was a lot of bad in that game for the Dallas Cowboys, yet they found a way to win when it looked like they were going to have their Cowboy, they effed it up kind of moment on that punt thing, and then you give the ball back to Justin Herbert with that much time. I mean, that's a game that the Cowboys typically would lose. Find a way, and they do.
Which there's a lot to digest from last night, and it was one of those games that you look at both teams when you're watching this thing. Obviously, we cover the Cowboys, so I'm looking at that, but the Chargers have some issues.
Yeah,
I mean they really do, and I think the first issue that they need to address is the guy standing on the sideline in charge of everybody. Brandon Staley is just. He just can't get it done. Now, granted, the Chargers, every loss they've had has been 3 points or less.
They have managed to perfect losing close, gut-wrenching games.
But I just don't see that happen. He's supposed to be a defensive genius, and I guess the defense for San Diego or L.A. or whatever the hell we're calling them today played pretty well.
Did you see Babe Laufenberg's tweet yesterday?
I did not.
Hang on, let me call this up, because for those of you watching on YouTube, I will show this to you, but because I thought this was perfect, and I was going to do this for Joe Reinagel, thought about it after I saw this tweet from Babe. If you're not watching on YouTube, damn it, you should, and subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. But in the booth, as he is ready to go, if you're watching on YouTube, you see the photo that Babe tweeted out. And it's a great view. You got the technology that he uses. He's got an engineer that loves to label. I could tell that, but he put a sign up, taped it to the window, Los Angeles Chargers. So he doesn't call them San Diego all night long.
Well, I can't remember exactly why they left San Diego.
Because they couldn't get a stadium deal
and
the ownership and all that.
Nobody gives a damn about the Chargers in Los Angeles.
Nobody gave a damn about the Chargers in San Diego, which is why they couldn't get a new stadium.
At least they had their own city.
Well, I mean, they did. And I remember I've been in that stadium a couple times, the old Murph. Years ago is when Dat Wynn was still co-hosting here at the time. Cowboys training camp. And if you remember, the Cowboys took the train down to San Diego. There's that famous picture of Jason Garrett hanging his head out.
Yep.
So we went down. Yep. We did our training camp coverage, and Oxnard went down, did the game, and then flew home out of San Diego. And then with the Commanders in the Alliance, we played the San Diego Fleet there. And they needed a new stadium. Quite frankly, Alamo Stadium's nicer.
They could be the San Antonio Chargers.
They could be.
I'd be okay with that.
Well, and look. Boy, we're going off on a tangent here, but
what else is new?
Well, I mean, Red McCombs said on this very program that the Chargers were right here for San Diego. If we had a different mayor at the time, they would already be here. And that's as close as we've come, even closer than when they were flirting with the Raiders.
Well, and it was close. We should have the Saints here. That should have been a done deal.
Yeah, but the NFL is the one that didn't want to do that to the city of New Orleans.
Only because, truth be told, it was a done deal. And then Hurricane Katrina came in and screwed everything up. That's exactly what happened.
Hurricane Katrina came in and sent them here. It was a done deal. Tom Benson wanted to keep them here, but the NFL wasn't going to do that to New Orleans.
No, it was a bad PR move.
Yeah, let's clean up the Superdome and let's host a bunch of Super Bowls down there.
Yes.
Which I'm down with. I enjoy New Orleans.
I don't give a damn, and it should be the San Antonio Saints or whatever the hell they were going to call them, because that was done. 75,000 people filled the Alamo Dome for 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
And San Antonio deserves an NFL football team.
We do. Well, we're a big old city without.
I agree.
I spent this last weekend in Kansas City, which, Kansas City is not a big city. Kansas City, I mean, you drive down the highways, it's not like driving down I-10 or 410 or 281 where there's businesses all over the place. I mean, you feel like you're out in the country until you're literally downtown.
So is San Antonio bigger than Kansas City?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And the talk up there in Kansas City is they want a new baseball stadium and they want a new football stadium. Where are they going to go? I've heard all the different stuff that you hear, and I can give directions. I don't know what any of it means either, but kind of semi downtown, because the 2 stadiums, the football and baseball stadium in KC, are way out. Soccer stadium in the Speedway are way the other way. And you look around and you go, Kansas City has MLS. They've got a big old Speedway. They got the NFL, and they've got NBA, or not NBA, Major League Baseball. They've got the Sprint Center where they've tried to attract the NBA or NHL.
How do they get all those things in? I mean, honestly.
I guess they've got government officials that work a little bit harder.
I guess. I don't know what's going on, but San Antonio should have an NFL team. And I don't want to go into a diatribe of why it's not Jerry Jones' fault, because I know that's what everybody's thinking right now.
And it's not.
It's not Jerry Jones' fault that San Antonio doesn't have a football team. So get that out of your mind right now.
Now, I will say this, though, to get it out of your mind. Jerry has said on this program many times. Now, what he says privately and publicly could be 2 very different things, but he would support a team in San Antonio. But I know while he was still alive, Bob McNair said on this program in the past, he would be against San Antonio getting an NFL team, because every team that's talked about San Antonio has been an AFC team. The Texans still don't own Harris County, and they would like to have South Texas.
They
would never be on TV in South Texas, under the old TV rules when McNair was alive, and I'm sure Cal is the same way. But at the time, Bob McNair was chairman of the finance committee.
Well, the problem is nobody wanted the Oilers either.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody in San Antonio supported the Houston Oilers when they were in the Houston Oilers.
Yeah.
So it's just, look, San Antonio is a Cowboy city. San Antonio would be a San Antonio football team and a Cowboys city. I mean, that wouldn't change a whole hell of a lot.
If San Antonio got it, guys like me, I'm going to be a Cowboy fan and a fan of whatever team is here.
Right.
And your grandkids might not like the Cowboys, and by then Jerry will be dead, we think. Right. But
who knows?
But when you look at it, you go back to the Oilers when they had training camp over at Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literally, you could walk up next to Jack Pardee in the middle of camp and say, Coach, can I call the play?
Yeah.
And
if there were 50 people there, it was a big day.
Whether it was Warren Moon or Eddie George or whoever it was.
Didn't matter.
It didn't matter. There was nobody there. Cowboys come to training camp in the Alamo Dome, and you got 15,000 people at 11 o'clock.
That's exactly right. And look, San Antonio is a Cowboys town. It always has been, always will be. But it's not Jerry's fault that San Antonio doesn't have a team.
No, we were a Cowboys town long before Jerry owned the Cowboys.
That's right.
And that isn't changing. And neither does the angst with a win or a loss, or even a win where you get plenty to complain about. And after last night's game, there's a lot to complain about. And you know what? You guys can complain about what you want. You can complain about Dak if you want. I thought Dak was fantastic last night.
Fantastic. Okay. Fantastic.
CeeDee Lamb was great last night. The running game was not. Defense played extremely well against a high-scoring Chargers offense. My problem with last night's game is Mike McCarthy. His play calling. That dude was coaching scared. That dude had no stones whatsoever. You tell me you are always playing to win. You know, we've got a promo that runs on this station. We play to win the game. Yet you had time on the clock and decided not to try for a touchdown at the end of the first half.
And 2 timeouts, by the way.
And 2 timeouts. They don't carry over.
Mike McCarthy doesn't trust his quarterback, and he doesn't trust his offensive line to not commit a penalty. That is abundantly clear. He has no trust in either one of those.
I'll go a step further. I don't think he trusts his receivers to get open in the red zone. I think there's all kinds of stuff that he doesn't trust. But I'm playing scared moment for Mike McCarthy. I'll give him credit. He went for it on 4th and 1 with the tush push thing that doesn't work for anybody not named Philadelphia. There were some moments there where I thought, all right, you're being aggressive. That was chicken bleep for him not to call plays in that situation. To take those timeouts in at halftime to just settle for 3 when you want to tell me all the time that you're playing to win games and you want to be aggressive. It doesn't get more cowardly than that as a play caller.
Absolutely. I was like, what are you doing? And everybody was doing that. That's really the talk of all the national shows today. One of the things. And there's a lot to digest in this. And we'll hear from McCarthy. He'll explain why he didn't do that. And he decided that, the best kicker in the NFL would kick a field goal.
And he's been perfect. And that's great.
And he is the best kicker in the NFL.
He really is. Now, statistically, he is. I didn't want to see him in that moment.
As predicted, by the way.
I didn't want to see him in that moment. Broken clocks, man. Broken clocks.
Just saying.
Broken clocks. I mean, you hang your hat on a kicker. Indy Kalu is going to be proud of you. You're going to get a little plaque that you can hang up in the office.
It has nothing to do with that. It's just as a judge of talent.
Oh,
yeah,
please.
I should have been a scout.
Really?
For the NFL, yes. Maybe I could still do that.
You were really excited about the quarterback that the Titans drafted a couple of years ago to replace Ryan Tannehill.
No, I really wasn't.
What's his name?
Malik Willis.
Yeah, that guy.
I was not.
You were ecstatic.
No.
You were ecstatic.
He played for Liberty, for goodness sake. We can pull the tape.
You were ecstatic.
Let's pull it.
You anybody but Tannehill, this guy's going to be great.
I never said that.
Oh, my
goodness. Those words never came out of my mouth.
Yes.
Malik Willis from Liberty College.
Yeah.
Isn't that like you phone in, or it's like you're on a computer? I didn't even know they had a football team. The guy's horrible. And Tannehill's going to miss some games. So are they going to go with Willis or Levis?
Well, I mean, he puts mayonnaise in his coffee. I know you're a big fan of mayonnaise. You're
unbelievable.
Screwed.
Unbelievable.
You backpedal and deny.
Well, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Vrabel's out of there anyway. He's going to replace Belichick.
He might. What'd you guys think of the Cowboys win last night? Your thoughts, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment there, and you can also tweet at Joe Reinagle 210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix.
It's the Awesome Tickets Pro Football Pick'em Challenge on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your shot at $50,000 nationally, while weekly winners locally get a $50 gift card to 5 Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks. At the end of the season, locally, the best overall record wins the San Antonio Grand Prize of $1,000 worth of tickets to any event from Awesome Tickets. Sign up today at sasportstar.com.
What if you could build a 6-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a 6-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Brett Kitchen, best-selling author and star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollars saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, The Baby Boomer Dilemma, at 800-648-0303. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you'll get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call right now, 1-800-648-0303. That's 1-800-648-0303, 1-800-648-0303.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of holiday joy at the Home Depot, where you can find everything you need to get ready for the holiday season, like all new festive outdoor decor. Spread more joy this season with bigger, bolder, and brighter inflatables from the Home Depot, like our exclusive new 8-foot animated Santa and reindeer inflatable for just $149, available in-store and online. Get holiday ready right now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Your small business is always top of mind. Well, top of your mind. To get it to the top of other people's minds, you need to get your name out front, which is where Staples Print and Marketing Services can put it. A yard sign over there, brochures right here, a banner up there. In fact, your business's message could appear anywhere. And right now at Staples, get $100 off your print purchase of $250 or more. Make a splash with your small business print and marketing materials at Staples. Ends 11/4. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Imagine it's the last ride, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are taking you for a ride. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about treating it with Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
It's football season and the Roo Pub is kicking off their 10-year anniversary party. Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch a game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. College football, pro football, the games are on at the Roo. Aggie fans, every game will be on with sound. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Celebrating 10 years, the Roo Pub next to the Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
NCE General Contractors, based in San Antonio, is one of the fastest growing nationwide general contractors with a focus on commercial new construction, design build projects, building renovations, tenant finish outs, site upgrades, and building maintenance. NCE President Brian Ehrlich's a former Madison quarterback and proud to support high school football in San Antonio, building relationships first, then buildings that last. Learn more about NCE General Contractors online at ncegc.co. That's ncegc.co.
The Jim Rome Show, weekdays at noon.
I love San Antonio, man. I love it.
On 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Prescott is in the gun. Back on his right. They'll give it to Pollard. He's going to be hit from there. Oh, he kept it. He's still good running up the middle. Touchdown. Oh, he faked me out. What a great fake and an 18-yard run up the middle by Dak Prescott. 2nd and goal at the 2. Good block in the backfield. Prescott left side of the end zone. Brandon Cooks caught it. Touchdown.
Brandon Cooks, one of his 5 catches. Cowboys get the win last night. Dak Prescott gets that 14-play drive that set up the go-ahead field goal, giving him his 20th game-winning drive, second most in team history. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe, I'm Jason. That was Brad Sham with the call on the Cowboys Radio Network and heard here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah, you got to give Dak some credit. I think Dak last night, and I believe this, almost at times improvised and went against his head coach. I really did. Now that play, and I even texted you after that touchdown. I said, hey, great play call. Because if that was the case, it was a good option. Dak made the right read. Everybody went for Tony Pollard, and Dak had a highway to run through.
Dude, it was a great play call, and he almost fumbled. And that was like that play. Was the design? Was that Dak's option? Whatever it was, credit Mike McCarthy, right? Credit the players. They played well. Dak Prescott last night, 7 carries, 40 yards. He doesn't run like he used to, but he's still an effective runner, and he was last night, including that 18-yard touchdown run. 21 of 30. He did take 5 sacks, but the way he spread the ball around, why Michael Gallup had 10 targets is beyond me. But
nobody's covering it.
He had one incompletion to somebody not named Michael Gallup on his 21 of 30.
Here's the problem, though. Do you want Dak Prescott as your leading rusher?
No,
you don't. That's the correct answer. Tony Pollard, 15 carries last night for 30 yards. I don't know, man. I don't know if Pollard can't do it. Is it between they didn't go out and get somebody at the gym this morning? My buddy Ray, man, y'all made a bad mistake getting rid of Zeke Elliott. Which is easy to say now.
Well, here's 15 carries last night for Tony Pollard, 30 yards. Doesn't take a math genius to go, that's 2 yards carry. He was big. He was big in the passing game, 80 yards. And, Tony Pollard in space is deadly.
Yeah.
Tony Pollard between the tackles, not so much. Now, there's been times that he's broken through there, but it's not that they got rid of Zeke. It's they didn't replace that short yardage type of back, which might be one of the issues that the Cowboys have in the red zone. You see what you're going to get out of Tony Pollard. You can't sneak it for a yard, even with everybody pushing you from behind.
Well, that's not Pollard's fault.
No, but I'm just saying that I'm exempling what the problem is in the red zone. Is you don't have that kind of running back. They can't even sneak it for a yard. You wonder how much they miss a guy like Zeke in those short yardage situations, because they wouldn't have tried that quarterback sneak with Zeke if Zeke was on the roster.
I don't know. Everybody else is using it.
The only team that's good at it is Philadelphia.
Well,
everybody else tries it and they fail.
I think that's because Jalen Hurts can squat 600 or 700 pounds.
Well,
nobody else can do that.
There's that.
Jeez, that guy's just strong. Although he's not playing well either.
But I mean, you look, we knew they were going to target CeeDee Lamb a lot. He came up big, 7 catches, 117 yards, targeted 7 times. Brandon Cooks gets his first touchdown as a Cowboy, 4 catches last night, caught all 4 of his targets. And the route running, that big first down late, when he ran that curl. And I know they didn't sign him to run curls, but he ran that curl extremely well. And Dak put that throw on the money, but the route was crisp. It was, one of those, that ball was thrown before he made the move to the sticks. What I loved about that is it was to the sticks. It wasn't short of the sticks. And then you hope you're able to break a tackle and go, because that seems to be Mike McCarthy's problem. I know, it's like there's a photo floating around the internets of his Waffle House menu play sheet, and you could read it. I mean, it's so crisp. I mean, technology is amazing. And, high red, low, all those different terms that you always hear them in the plays that are there. And I'm just wondering about, do any of them say, get to the boundary, get to the marker, get to, why are you calling a 4-yard route if you need 7?
Okay.
Kind of question.
Wait.
And we've seen it. We've seen it too much this year.
Some of that has got to be on the player, does it not? If you know you need 7 yards for a first down, run the route 7 yards.
If the timing of everything is on the
back
gosh, dude, you say, "Oh my gosh!"
You act like the players can't do anything unless Mike McCarthy. You got to tie your shoe, young man. Use a fork instead of a spoon. You might hurt yourself. These are pro football players.
They are pro football players, but if it's timing, and you heard Troy Aikman talking about it last night on the broadcast. We are not seeing the timing routes that we constantly hear about from Mike McCarthy, where on Dak's drop, that last step, back foot, fire, and go. So if the route is based on that timing, you can't extend it out past the sticks. But what you saw last night, and Dak probably held the ball a little too long on some plays, which is why he took some sacks, but he was waiting for those guys to get open or at least look like they're coming open and throw them open. I think we saw more of Dak Prescott improvising last night than we have in any other game this year. And because of that, he kept some plays alive, and those turned into some pretty big plays.
Look, if McCarthy's calling that and the players are following that to a T, well, then shame on them.
Well, wait a minute. Well, what do you want? I mean, if they don't,
want them to get a first. You don't throw a ball 3 yards from where you need to be on third down.
Time. It's all the timing route. And
are these guys, are they pony league football players?
Joe, I mean, think about it. If it's a timing route and you extend the route, that throws off the timing. So why call plays where they're running short of the sticks is the point.
Well, there is no point, but there is only so is there only one guy in the pattern? I mean, that's it. So it's just 3-step drop, fire, and he's supposed to be there. That's it. I mean, these guys are intelligent football players. They can know, hey, we need 7 yards, guys. 7 yards. Guess what? Screw McCarthy.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna take one more step back. You make sure you get there. These guys have got to take over.
Doesn't it feel like you saw that yesterday from Dak on some of those plays because you think about some of the bigger plays, like the one to Tony Pollard, a couple of them to CeeDee Lamb. Those were on plays where Dak held, scrambled, bought more time, and then was able to find those guys in a bit of a scramble drill.
He's a football player.
Exactly.
That's what he does.
But what you saw last night was Dak seemingly take more control, more command of the offense and not try to run the play exactly the way it was called.
Well, it's about time.
Exactly.
It's about time. And if Mike McCarthy is that illiterate and telling these guys to run plays like that, he needs to be fired today. I mean, that is just the stupidest thing I've ever heard of.
I mean,
you're taught that in Pee Wee League football. Hey, you need 7 yards, you got to run beyond the boundary. I mean, that's like 101.
But in an offense that's all about timing and precision. I mean, what do you do? I mean, that's what I saw last night from the Dallas Cowboys. And then the fact that they're able to win a big close game, obviously that's something that Dak Prescott was thrilled with.
Huge. And that's actually what I told the offense when we were taking that kneel down there on that first knee down was, these are the games we're going to be in. I mean, we've had some blowouts, and then we had some games that didn't go our way that were maybe a little over a score, and the one lopsided. So we haven't had close games, but this is what the NFL is about. And that's all I said is we've got to get used to this. We've got to stay confident in this, understand that these close games, one score, field goal games, touchdown games, we've got to believe in ourselves, finishing it on our terms with the ball in our hands. And thankful for our defense right there, getting us that ball, getting that turnover. We're able to do that. But that's the NFL. I mean, that's what the NFL is about. Close games, winning the game at the end, and credit to everybody that played a part in this one.
He's right when it comes to that. Yeah, that's the NFL. It's about close games. You got to find a way to win it. And I give them all the credit in the world for coming and winning an ugly football game like that. But they've got a lot of work to do. They got a lot of work to do. They go into the bye week. I'm not sure exactly what they'll work on or how they'll do it, but if you're a Cowboy fan and you walk away, yes, you take the W. Yes, you're 4-2. But if you think you're any closer to a Super Bowl after last night's game, I think you're a little delusional.
It's the same team that looked like a Super Bowl team in weeks 2. San Francisco obviously was a big test that they failed miserably. But to say just after 5 weeks you're going into the bye, or 6 weeks, you're not a Super Bowl team where they were 2 weeks ago.
I said any closer
is delusional
to being a Super Bowl team.
Well,
they're not.
I mean, if they were closer 2 weeks ago, why are they not now? Right? I mean, think about what you're saying. I mean, because you thought they were a Super Bowl team in the preseason. You thought they were after weeks 1 and 2.
See, now you're putting words in my mouth. When did I ever say I thought they were a Super Bowl team?
Are you saying they're not a Super Bowl contender today?
Right now, today, I would in the NFC, I would pick. There's 3 teams ahead of them right now.
Okay,
3 teams.
The only team that wasn't ahead of them a couple of weeks ago is Detroit.
Exactly.
And Philadelphia is not playing great.
No.
Right. So they're still a contending team for the Super Bowl.
Well, you keep thinking that.
Well,
that's fine. There, as it stands right now,
why play the rest of the year then?
With no running game, you're not going to beat San Francisco or Philly in the playoffs. You're not. They've got to do something. Now, look, Dak played better last night. All I heard today was how he was fantastic, and he was the best I've seen him play in 2 years. Some guy on the radio said today, and it's like, dude, all I'm saying is they've got a lot. I don't know what his name was.
All right,
one of the national shows.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm with you. Because God forbid if Dak has an incompletion, it's not a good game. He's not good. He was great last night. Why can't you say that? He played a great game last night.
I wouldn't say he played a great game last night.
What do you define as a great game?
I think he did what he had to do. It wasn't a great game. I mean, a great game. I think you're throwing for 350 yards. You got 3 or 4 touchdowns. That's a great game.
Okay.
Dak completing a couple of passes. Is that where we're at now? I mean, is that the level we're at now? Dak completed
21
a few passes.
30, no interceptions.
Oh, so that's a great game now.
Throws for a touchdown, runs for a touchdown.
That's how we define a great game? The bar has certainly been lowered.
All right. So, yeah, it would have been nice to have a 5-touchdown game.
I'm just saying that to me, that's a great game.
He wasn't awful. They won because of Dak and his play last night.
He was a reason that he was a part of it.
Well, tell me, was the run game the reason they won?
Well, the defense certainly was.
Okay.
Was it not?
That defense played great. Complimentary football.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But Dak wasn't the reason
they hold the Chargers to 53 rushing yards last night, and you were, yesterday, man, the Chargers going to run all over them. They're getting their dude back. It's going to be a long night for that Cowboys run defense.
Dude,
53 yards.
Can we get the tape here? I mean, I want a readout of what was said yesterday, because all of that is just simply BS. I said they're getting it. It's going to be a great game, I believe is what I said. It's going to be a great game. And this is not going to be an easy football game. Was it an easy football game? No, it wasn't. Cowboys defense, I'll give them credit. They shut down the run.
Pledge is getting you a transcript from yesterday.
Yeah, well, it's made up in his mind what it is. Yeah, see that. See, you and Pledge, man.
Pledge.
You guys are like a team here, because Pledge is scared to death of you.
Oh, please. What did you guys think? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. More on the Cowboys and what the hell was Mike McCarthy thinking at the end of the first half as we continue here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, my goodness. I need a lawyer to help me with this group, because there's a lot of false accusations flying around.
Yeah.
And look, if you are in need of a lawyer, if you've been accused of a crime, or you think you might be, or something's happened, you need a great team to protect your innocence. That's the LaHood Norton Law Group. They're made up of former prosecutors turned criminal defense attorneys that can help you stay a step ahead of your legal program. They know both sides of the criminal justice system. They handle all criminal cases, state and federal. Look, I've known Nico LaHood for a long time. If you're in a bind and you need somebody who's going to fight for you, there's nobody better than Nico LaHood and the LaHood Norton Law Group. Look, call them right now for a free consultation, 210-797-7700. That's 210-797-7700. Sooner you make that call after you've been accused, the better off you're going to be. So give them a call now, 210-797-7700, or you can get them online at the LaHood Norton at lahoodnorton.com.
It's R&R in the morning.
Wednesday on R&R in the morning, we hope Rob got the trash out. Jerry Jones has spoken. How's he feel about being 4-2 versus 3-3? And those pesky Rangers try to go up 3-0 on the Astros.
Spurs are going to run it back. They take on the Rockets yet again. And Dr. Jason Garrett joins us. Going to be a good day. And we'll start the party at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters. You got to get to Mother's Window Tint right now, because if you do, it's National Pizza Month, and we're going to give you a free 18-inch one-topping pizza from Sophia's Pizzeria. Go to Mother's Window Tint today and get your windows tinted. Buy an alarm system and make sure you get a free pizza from Sophia's Pizzeria while you're there. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
I can't wait for what's next, even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Pixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist-prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com. or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Now's the time to head out to your nearest Ewald Kubota dealer and get a great deal on a brand new Kubota M-Series tractor during the Ewald Kubota Inventory Reduction Sale. Get a feature-loaded M5, 6, or 7 with powerful engine options. And with Kubota, you get comfort, quality, and value. So get a great deal on the Kubota M-Series during the Ewald Kubota End-of-Year Inventory Reduction Sale. From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas for over 75 years, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com. If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Here's something you've never heard before.
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Introducing 24/7 lifeguard protection, only from Simply Safe Home Security. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. Advanced Home Security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Exergen thermometers are a top choice of medical professionals at highly ranked hospitals across the U.S. With kids back at school, keeping them healthy is important. Make Exergen thermometer the chosen thermometer for your home or business to check for fever where accuracy matters. When measuring temperature at home and at work, use an Exergen thermometer to keep your family and colleagues safe. Available at Walmart and other participating retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the scenic views stick around after the sun sets, and your favorite cocktails keep you company long after overtime. Where else can you unwind with bourbon and late-night bites? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
It's the Awesome Tickets Pro Football Pick'em Challenge on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your shot at $50,000 nationally, while weekly winners locally get a $50 gift card to 5 Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks. At the end of the season, locally, the best overall record wins the San Antonio Grand Prize of $1,000 worth of tickets to any event from Awesome Tickets. Sign up today at sasportstar.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Tomorrow, the Blitz is going to be live from SA Card House there at 281 and Bitters. Says here you could win some great prizes as we're live out at the SA Card House, the old Lubies over there.
Oh, we gambling?
I mean,
then I'm in.
Yeah. No, Rudy was like, dude, you got to go early and eat. Food's great. I'm like, it's for my cards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's get a poker game going.
There you go. Seems like Mike McCarthy's playing Go Fish with the way he's calling plays. That was some real chicken bleep stuff at the end of the first half.
It really was.
And it's interesting because you hear Mike McCarthy trying to explain why he wasn't trying to score touchdowns there at the end of the half.
Yeah, I think the end of the half, if you look at the series going down there, I think I've said it enough for a couple of times already. I mean, it's a bumpy game, and I think, you get in those spots. I mean, I know when I call plays, you always have 2 play calls that you're, anticipating. The threshold for us is 7 seconds. It's, something that's, as far as determining which way we're going in that situation based on yard line, down and distance and that. So I definitely, I think we're right at 8. So 7, 8 somewhere in there, and we just decided to play it safe instead. The other call would have been O-zone, where you throw the ball into the end zone and give us a shot there. So I just felt the way the game was going. I think we had a holding penalty earlier in the series, so I just wanted to make sure we got the points getting out of there.
You want to play it safe. I mean, you're 3-2. You just got your butt kicked, and you want to play it safe against a team that, at least on paper, can put some points on the board.
When you look at that drive, started on the Cowboys' 29-yard line with 59 seconds. First play, incomplete pass to Gallup. Then Prescott deep pass to CeeDee Lamb. Then to Gallup down to the 37. Then you have a penalty. Tyler Smith holding. Then you had the pass to Ferguson for 15 yards. Then you get the other 15 yards on the penalty.
Yep.
And so now you're at the Charger 17-yard line, 14 seconds to play.
2 timeouts left, I believe.
Short pass to Tony Pollard. Gain of 3 down to the 14. And you could have called a timeout at some point in there and had another shot in to the end zone. And it looked like they stopped the clock because everybody with a football mind stopped the clock. So whoever runs the clock for your TV watching pleasures did that. And then they show it. Was it a glitch? Like during the anthem, I had a couple of glitches in the broadcast. I thought it was a glitch. And what happened to a play? What happened? I didn't know what happened because nobody in their right mind is going to let that clock go all the way down and take the 3 seconds. If you're trying to score touchdowns, if you're coaching to win a game. Jerry Jones was also surprised that Mike McCarthy did that.
First of all, this is not an impassioned response to your question at all. But I thought we should have tried another pass in the end zone and manage the clock accordingly.
Do you think not doing that shows a lack of faith that Mike might have in Dak's ability to make that decision?
Not at all. Not at all. No, that doesn't reach that point with me at all. I just, from the perspective I had, thought that we might be able to try it there. But I haven't talked to Mike about the call.
But I will.
Mike told you exactly what he did. He doesn't trust anybody. He had penalties, holding penalties, so he doesn't trust his offensive line to not commit a penalty there. He doesn't trust his quarterback, and he doesn't trust his receivers. I mean, I don't see how else you go in, how else you can say anything different than that. He doesn't trust him. He knew he had 3 points on the board. He was fine with that.
Which you look at the play calling in the red zone has been so questionable all season long. I don't know if he trusts his own self when it comes to the play calling. And I do think there's a lot of truth to a situation like that. says you don't trust your quarterback, says you don't trust your running back to go run and try to get some yards, because they could have run a play there with everybody expecting pass, because you do have the timeouts and you have time there. I mean, when you think about the Sunday night game, the situational football, 14 seconds left, same scenario essentially, and the Giants came away with no points. And Jason Garrett on the NBC desk was shaking his head going, I don't know how you survived that one.
Yeah.
And that was all on the quarterback. You could tell by the way Dayball was reacting. And they showed McCarthy, on the sidelines looking stressed, more stressed than we've seen him with this play calling that he now has to do. And he does that, up until last night, even last week, we didn't have to ask. But one of the questions that I've asked multiple times this year to Stephen Jones, or you try to get it from Mike McCarthy in the red zone, is it the play calling or is it execution? And Jerry Jones has consistently said execution. And that's not just all on the quarterback. That's receivers getting open. That's line blocking. That's run play. And obviously your quarterback making the right decision there. But last night, that's on the head coach of Mike McCarthy not giving his team an opportunity. If Dak's watching that film and looks in the mirror and says, my coach doesn't believe me.
He does.
My coach has no confidence that we're going to get this done. And CeeDee Lamb and Ferguson and Michael Gallup and Brandon Cooks and Tyler Smith and everybody else on that offense should be saying the same thing. Our coach didn't believe that we could get a touchdown there.
That doesn't even require counting your steps before you throw a timing pattern. You just drop back, throw it in the corner of the end zone where only your guy can catch it, and it's either caught or it's incomplete, then you kick a field goal. Easy as that.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Fred, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, Minix. Hey, Joe. I pray for your patience every day, Joe, listening and having to sit next to Minix.
Thank you.
Actually, Minix, when you go to Tri-County Meat Market, do you ask for the Dak package? I know you love your meat, and I know you love his meat.
Woo!
Yeah, Fred, you're funny today. When is open mic night at LOL?
Yeah. Absolutely. And you said Dak played a great game. He did what he needed to do. McCarthy didn't want to turn the ball over in the first half. That's basically what it was. And the defense didn't show up until the last 2 minutes. And
I don't know how you can even say that. You act like you're a football-minded guy. That defense played great. Micah got a sack in the last 2 minutes. They got a takeaway, but they kept a Charger team that has scored a boatload of points all year to 17 total. Don't say they didn't show up all day.
The defense played well.
The average of what people have been scoring on the Chargers are about 300 yards in the air. Cowboys managed to get, I think, 260, 270, below par numbers, just like Dak Prescott, a below par quarterback.
Again, I mean, I look at the Chargers have scored 34, 24, 28, 24, and they got 17 last night. And you say the defense didn't show up.
Yeah, they didn't do what they needed to do. And then you got to remember, Herbert probably played one of his worst games. His little broken finger was,
on the non-throwing hand.
That's
Fred,
another, well, that's another thing. Look, Justin Herbert was not good unless he had a clean pocket. When he has a clean pocket, he's good. If he's got to make some decisions on the move, the kid is not good.
Hey, Lloyd, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, Jason and Joe and Pledge, how you guys doing today?
Good, man.
Good, man.
It'd be a lot better if we won last night.
Are you the lone Charger fan that listens to this show?
You guys, it's me. There's always lightning bolts after every post. It's like ... That's my thing.
Oh, okay.
So I just wanted to say, what do we need to do?
Who?
I mean, we obviously dropped the ball big time. Are we going to end up going a wild card round one and losing again?
Well, you better hope you get there. Look, Brandon Staley's gone. Unless something miraculous happens, he's got to be. Supposed to be a defensive genius. That hasn't been good until last night. They played okay last night. Wasn't bad for the Chargers.
No, and again, I think for the Cowboys, that's one of the bigger indictments is, statistically an awful defense, and the Cowboys only got 20 points.
They did. They struggled.
But you get the Chiefs next?
Oh, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. And then you get the Bears, the Jets, the Lions.
Well, Bears, Jets,
yeah.
The Bears.
Lions lost.
I'd look forward to the
Chiefs
Bears
lost.
game.
We're probably going to win, I don't know, 4 out of the next 10 or something, whatever the hell we have left. To be honest, guys. I'm being honest.
Well, there's always next year, Lloyd.
Exactly.
Oh, come on, Joe.
I mean,
always next year,
all
buddy.
the weapons they have and the quarterback. I mean,
Your quarterback needs to get better. I mean, he's got to improve. He's been in the league for 4 years now, and his rookie year, I don't see any difference. There has been no improvement in Justin Herbert, in my mind, over 4 years' time in the NFL.
And he's got the boy wonder now, who wanted to score 100 yesterday.
Yeah.
And got 17.
Well,
and created one of the best gifts that we're going to have the rest of the season.
They've got some issues, that's for sure. The Chargers do.
They do, but they also have a super fan. Now, the video last night, and going around immediately, was she an actress, a paid actress, planted in the stands for all the drama? Pledge, do you have? I don't know if Pledge is paying attention. Well, you can't wave me off. We're in the middle of a segment. Seriously, dude.
Well, he's taking a phone call from somebody there.
I'm listening. I'm saying, talk to me.
All right. Well, do you have the audio ready from the lady, the super fan that was on the Pat McAfee show? Pat McAfee somehow, and his she says she's a super fan, not a paid actress.
There's some skeptical people out there, a couple in the studio. I won't name names.
Darius Butler, Anthony DeGilio.
Hi, Marianne. So, Marianne, were you offended by when people like this said, hey, she's a plant, she's working for the NFL, she's a robot, she's an alien, this can't be real, no one's that passionate?
You know what? I wish I was getting paid. I wish I could make myself, AI and as beautiful as I want. But at the end of the day, this is me, guys. This is me. Crazy Mama 4, crazy Chargers fan, crazy freaking football fan. And it is what it is. I'm not
What do you like at your kids' games? Do your kids play sports? What do you cheer like that?
Oh gosh, if you ever get in touch, so all the moms are texting me. They're like, "Why are people saying you're fake? Because this is how you're at flag football. This is how you are when you're at soccer. This is the basketball finals. This is you." And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess my poor kids have to deal with this every day." But now, it's crazy. It's overwhelming that the whole world thinks this is so different because this is my kids have had to deal with this all their lives.
Marianne, this is awesome. It's so awesome that people think it's fake. That's what the world is that we're in. So we appreciate you joining us and explaining all this stuff.
Well, my question is who the hell paid the ESPN camera guy to find her after every Charger play, whether it was a good one or not? So that's why everybody thinks this is a plant. I mean, were there not other Charger fans in the stadium?
No, they were all Cowboy fans in that stadium.
So there was one, and the guy had to find her. I mean, I was thinking she was Britney Spears in disguise or Taylor Swift in disguise.
Well, who they show Lance Bass, who held up a sign that says, "I'm not Taylor Swift."
Nobody's confusing that, buddy.
But you look at this lady, just overly dramatic. I could see them going to her once, but over and over and over again.
No, they went to her after every play, it seemed like. If it was a bad play, she had her hands on her head. If it was a good play, it's like, yeah.
Dude, it was nuts.
It was crazy.
Could you imagine sitting near somebody that's like that during a game?
I'm still not convinced that is a real fan. I think that was a setup. I mean, she was too perfect. The background behind her was perfect. They kept going to her after. That was a setup by somebody.
She looked like she just won something big on a game show.
She looked ridiculous.
It's like those people. What's the Price is Right when they call your name and you come running down and you're acting all.
Yes,
yes.
Well, she's getting her 15 minutes.
She is.
So there you go.
McAfee tracked her down.
Wow, that was a setup. Had to have been. And I'm thinking that last time, I'm like, I don't care what this lady's doing. Who gives a damn? I mean, it's kind of like showing Taylor Swift 55 times.
No, but at least Taylor Swift is famous.
My gosh.
And the best part of the Taylor Swift pictures, there was Brittany Mahomes looking all upset.
See, I get that. That's why I said Britney Spears. Like Brittany, Taylor, it's like this. I'm all over the place.
They're all the same.
I'm all over the place.
You really are.
Holy cow.
You really are. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Guy mentioned Tri-County Meat Market earlier. And if you've done any grilling, we judge meat every Thursday.
Yep.
Joe's favorite day of the week is to judge your meat on your grill. You've done some grilling over the weekend. Upload those photos, sasportstar.com, the Grilling with the Blitz page. And Thursdays, we judge meat and give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market's Huebner Road location.
It's the Mike McCarthy Show every Friday morning at 7 and 9 with R&R in the morning.
I'm all about winning. So when it has to do with winning, then it's part of our operation, our messaging, and our outlook.
A look at the Cowboys' upcoming game presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Brett Kitchen, best-selling author and star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollars saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, The Baby Boomer Dilemma, at 800-648-0303. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you'll get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call right now, 1-800-648-0303. That's 1-800-648-0303, 1-800-648-0303.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. So minivans, sedans, JDMs, roll out. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. And with eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No, we tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured, so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly, different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Blitz. 2 to 6 on YouTube and always at SA Sports. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Philadelphia Eagles have signed a veteran wide receiver. Julio Jones joins the Eagles on a one-year deal. ALCS taking a day off, headed to Arlington for Game 3 tomorrow night. Rangers lead the Astros 2-0 in that best-of-7 series. NLCS continues tonight. Arizona, Philly. Philly leads 1-0. You can hear that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, 6:30.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on a Tuesday afternoon following a big Cowboys Monday night football win. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Good to be here on a Tuesday talking Cowboys football.
Any day that ends in Y.
Well, that's a good point. We kind of do that a lot around here. But Cowboys going to the bye week 4-2. And honestly, that's huge because it wasn't a must win, although Dak Prescott said it was a must win. But it's a hell of a lot better than 3-3.
Well, it is, which kind of made it, according to Dak, a must win. Maybe. Never mind.
We got gremlins.
We got an ant problem here at the station now.
And we can blame Rob Thompson for that of R&R in the morning.
So, Rob every morning makes Pop-Tarts.
Uh-huh.
He toasts his Pop-Tarts.
He does.
And Rob apparently leaves a lot of crumbs. And Morgan, who's one of the big bosses here, cleans up the Pop-Tarts every morning while she's making her coffee. So, and it's been a thing, and Rob, I'll never do it again. He was so embarrassed, all shucks, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, this morning, because Morgan realizes it's not going to change, right? And, it is what it is. It's break room. Well, apparently now we have ants.
Yeah.
In the kitchen. Morgan took a photo of an ant. It's kind of hard to see, but the ants are carrying away pieces of Pop-Tart wherever they go. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll show the photo, and you can kind of see it there through our countertops. That's an ant and a piece of the Pop-Tart crumb.
That's a big piece of Pop-Tart crumb.
Well, that's, it's like she said, it was pretty amazing how these ants are able to pick up something as big as that Pop-Tart crumb because you're watching it move across, because the way the counters are, I don't think she noticed the ants until she saw the crumbs were moving. Well, why are the crumbs moving?
Why are the white spots on the counter moving?
Yes. What's in this coffee?
Dude, I'm going to tell you what, that big piece of Pop-Tart fed the whole colony this morning.
For weeks.
Yes. They're going, thank you, Rob.
And so now we can apparently hear from Dak all the time. Did we reset something over there? Dak, is it a must win?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a must win.
Yeah.
Early in the season, but 3-3, 4-2 or 3-3, it's a huge difference. It just is. I get exactly what you're saying. It's early in the season. I've been in the 3-5 season that we turned it around and went on a win streak and won the division. So I get what you're saying, but 4-2, second road win of the year. against a great team, against a great offense, good defense, great defense. Going into the bye week, yeah, I mean, we talked about after last week not allowing this thing to landslide. And obviously, I think a win like this allows you to really close that book. Obviously, we closed that book throughout this week, preparing for this game, moving on, not just talking about it, but being about it, practicing that right way, preparing the right way to do that. But when you get this win like we did, you definitely can move on. Now we'll move forward from this one. Go watch it, get better, critique it hard, see how we can get better from this game, even on a win. And then, as I said, enjoy the bye week. Get healthy, enjoy the bye week, and then stack after that.
Well, I appreciate Dak there, because had they lost the game, it would have been, well, it's okay. We're going to the bye. We're going to fix everything. He only said it's a must win because they won.
Well,
I mean, let's face it. Yeah, it's a must win. Of course it was, and we won it, so we're the greatest.
But I don't think he said that at all. But I
heard him mumbling that under his breath.
Really? Is that what you took out of that? I just look at it last night as one of those, after what happened in San Francisco, how big that was. And he mentioned second road win. They're now 2-2 on the road. And the old adage of, win your games at home and split on the road, you're going to have a pretty good season. And to this point, that's what they've been doing. More Cowboys talk in a bit. We'll also talk some Spurs. Indy Kalu will join us at 3:30 to talk about the Houston Texans. But right now, let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
So, T.O. wasn't a part of the game last night, but he does make the news following a Monday night game. He was playing in a pickup basketball game that ended up with him getting into an argument and then hit by a car.
Yeah, the dude apparently hit him with the car. Wasn't driving fast, but hit him. I don't think T.O. is hurt, very badly, but I mean, kind of weird. But you know how those things go, right? You're playing a pickup basketball game, somebody fouls you, and you get into a little argument, and those things happen.
And then you get hit by a car.
Apparently.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Never happened to me.
Although,
did you see the fight video from last night's Chargers Cowboys game?
I did.
Holy cow, was there an incredible fight. Barstool tweeted it out not long ago.
And that's happening at every stadium every Sunday, it seems like.
Yeah, it's a problem. And again, people are just going after people wearing the other jersey.
Yeah.
And what you learn from that is most of us don't know how to fight, and we probably shouldn't.
No, we shouldn't.
And
especially after you've been sitting there drinking all day. You probably had a tailgate before the game. You had 25 beers during the game.
Yeah,
probably shouldn't do that.
It's and again, a lot of beer spillage on the floor, slippery floor. The number of people that run up and they're about to hit and then they lose their feet. It looks like something out of the Keystone Cops fighting. Something out of Three Stooges, but I mean, just all the barriers are being broke down in this fight. I mean, people can't keep their feet. Number 3 just ran in there and completely lost his footing.
Justin Herbert just ran in there. Look at that. Number 10.
Yeah. And number 13 can barely get up. She's wearing a Tony Romo jersey. She's trying to get in there. I mean, what is the deal with all these crazy fights after
I don't know, but it's happening a lot. I mean, you're seeing more and more video of that all the time. And yeah, the bad part about it, if you're spilling beer, keep in mind that beer was about $15.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care how mad I am at somebody. I'm not throwing my beer on the floor to start punching you.
No, and as a guy that's been in a stadium fight before, and I say that kind of loosely, I got my ass kicked at a stadium one time. There was no fight because I got kicked in the back in Philadelphia and knocked down, and then a couple other dudes just kicking me after I was already on the ground. Security's never anywhere to be found.
No,
right?
Well, I mean, especially if you're wearing a Cowboy shirt in Philly, I don't give a damn about you.
Yeah, that's true. But I look at that video and it's like that video is going on for over a minute,
long time,
and no security anywhere.
That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah. Speaking of Philly, just the story we just read, the breaking news today, Julio Jones with the Eagles. What do you think?
Another weapon. I mean, it really depends on what's left in the tank.
Yeah, I don't know. The guy can't stay healthy. That's been the problem. And I know he's buddies with A.J. Brown because A.J., recruited him to Tennessee when A.J. was there. If you'll remember, Julio went there for a year and played maybe, I don't know, 6 games. So, I don't know.
I know he'll get there and go to IR.
He probably will.
Kind of like when Dez signed with New Orleans.
Yeah.
First practice. Oh man, I'm getting paid now, right? Oh man,
it can't be much. So what's the league minimum?
I mean, more than we make.
Well, no.
Speaking of the Eagles, though, they have a broadcaster who just seems to really just hate the head coach of the New York Jets.
About the 11 kisses that his players were going to have to put on Jalen Hurts and company if they tried their famous quarterback sneak, which did not happen today. But here's Robert Saleh, the Jets coach, on playing all these top quarterbacks that the Jets have played and beaten.
Through these first 6 weeks, we've played a gauntlet of quarterbacks. And I know we haven't gotten all wins, but we've embarrassed all of them.
I can't stand that guy. I'm just saying, I'm not out of line.
They play the Eagles every 4 years.
Because that's the first time in history that the Jets beat the Eagles.
Oh, wow.
It's an incredible stat. And I saw a high school play. Finally, you figured out how to stop the tush push. It was in a high school game. Not the greatest of video, but the linebacker dives over the center, does kind of a somersault, grabs the quarterback, and flips him back.
Nice.
It was incredible. That's how you stop the tush push.
I guess so. In high school.
High school.
I don't want to see anybody doing that
figured that out
in the NFL.
Yeah, that would be tough.
That might be a bad thing.
For boxing fans out there, as we wrap up the headline blitz, Showtime is getting out of the boxing business. If you think it was 5 years ago, HBO got out of the boxing business. They have one more fight left for a fight in November, and then Showtime, no more. And they're out of sports altogether, just completely getting out of the sports business.
That's kind of crazy to me. But I don't know. I mean, the way, you can get entertainment now from just about anywhere in any way. I don't know. I maybe they just don't think they can make any more money or continue to be successful with it. I'm not sure, but it's too bad because the hell's Jim Lampley going to do?
Well, I mean, Jim Lampley's been out of work for a while since HBO got out of the boxing game 5 years ago.
Well, and then
Al Bernstein is still at Showtime.
The poor dude that is the brother of the guy that does the Let's Get Ready to Rumble.
Yeah, well,
thing.
he's doing all the MMA stuff, and Showtime's not even going to do that.
What are these guys going to do, man? They're going to be in the buffet line.
No, they're not.
The Salvation Army.
They're going to be fine because, these, like you look at PBR right now, or PBC rather, they have Canelo and they have some of the other bigger fighters, Deontay Wilder. They got Tank Davis. They got the Charlo twins. They've been negotiating apparently with DAZN and Amazon. And I think once Showtime heard that, they were like,
"That's it,
we're out." Because everybody that thinks boxing is dead, just wait till you see a big fight in the pay-per-view numbers that they do. Well, it's incredible.
I love boxing, and I'm not a huge MMA fan, so I bet I'll watch it. But I'm not a huge MMA fan. But I love boxing, and so I want to see some guys though that you can get behind. I mean, it's you got Canelo. Yeah, okay, all right. Triple G when they fought, that was good. Jesse James Leha because you rooted for him, that was nice. But you need some guys to get behind.
We need a good American heavyweight champion.
Yes,
and that's the bottom line.
Where's Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield?
I mean, but
George Foreman.
When you look at some of the big fights and the numbers that they draw, and you go back to because Mayweather. When Showtime got Mayweather and give him $1 gazillion, that was such a big win. But I believe Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather in 2015, and I went to that fight. That set all the pay-per-view records that still stand.
Well, that's it. I mean, Pacquiao, and isn't he like the president of the Philippines now or whatever?
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, Showtime getting out of the sports game, and their big sport was boxing.
That's too bad.
The Spurs, how good are they? How good do you think the Spurs will be? You might be surprised what ESPN says. We'll dive into that next here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're shopping for a new vehicle, you need to go see my friends at Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira Itonato complex. Easy for me to tell you about and recommend Ancira because I am a longtime Ancira customer, and it's because of their great customer service before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. That great customer service is why Ancira has been a top family-run dealership in San Antonio for decades. And you know Price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram truck, part of the Ancira Itonato complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
Wemby, man, the hype is insane. I love the guy. I love his game. I love him playing for that coach. I love him in that community. And I think it's a great thing.
It's the Jim Rome Show, where Wemby and Rome rule. Weekdays at noon.
Hey, Jim Rome here.
Have a take, San Antonio. And certainly do not suck.
Man, I'm nervous. I wouldn't want that gig.
It's the Jim Rome Show, weekdays at noon on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have a lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the 10 Cup Bar. It's the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of SA, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or dinner, go to Golf Club of Texas off Highway 90, online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Have you gotten your hands on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB yet? Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds offer big, bold flavors like sea salt and cracked black pepper, spicy dill, and Korean barbecue. Bonus, you're going to love the low-carb, high-protein, bacony crunch. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB today. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous. Learn more at southernrecipesmallbatch.com.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Brett Kitchen, best-selling author and star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollars saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, The Baby Boomer Dilemma, at 800-648-0303. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you'll get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call right now, 1-800-648-0303. That's 1-800-648-0303, 1-800-648-0303.
Hey guys, are you over 30? Let's talk about testosterone and performance. Your testosterone can decline at an average of 1% to 2% a year after you turn 30. And Revive Men's Health have been experts at treating men with low testosterone and ED since 2011. We're the clinic guys come to when their current treatment isn't working. They have a complicated medical condition, or they're just not happy with their performance. We love what we do and the patients we care for. You can ask our patients. We did, and we have a 99% patient satisfaction rate this year. Our patients even tell us we're more affordable than their insurance deductibles and copays. Let's get to the bottom of your issues and fix them. That's what we do, and we do it really well. Book your T-Check and exam today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or send us a private message at revivemenshealth.com.
Hey, if you're thinking about getting the latest iPhone, check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. Yeah, you get the new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium. Then again, next year you get the latest iPhone. Every year. Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. To learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. That's pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slowed. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from this station's network.
It's time for the fall haul at Northern Tool and Equipment. Get your hands on tough tools at prices that are tough to ignore. Got plans? Cancel them. Trucks in the shop? Borrow someone else's. Don't like saving money? Right. So head to the fall haul at Northern Tool. Back up the truck for the season's biggest event and save on generators, power tools, trailers, and more. Shop in-store or at northerntool.com. We're made for this.
Wednesday on R&R in the morning, we hope Rob got the trash out. Jerry Jones has spoken with the fan. We hear what he has to say about being 4-2 versus 3-3. The Spurs are back in action at home again versus the Rockets, and those pesky Rangers try to go up 3-0 on the Astros. Now back to the Blitz. Joe, how you like that Dak performance? That's big-time, big boy football right there.
Another Dak slurper. Thanks, Rudy J. That's all I need.
I know you become a slurper if you call it how you see it and you're being fair and honest. I mean, the guy can't win no matter what.
It was a good game. I give all the credit in the world. It's a good game. It was, but let's not take it to an extreme. It was a good game. He led his team to a win, hard, tough win, but it wasn't what a great performance by Dak Prescott.
It kind of was.
No, it really wasn't. It was very good.
Okay,
he played well.
We got good to now very good. He played well. He didn't turn the ball over. He completed a bunch of passes. He ran for a touchdown. I mean, they won the game because of Dak.
5 times.
He did.
So Dak was the only one on the field last night.
Okay, but when they play well, it's always Dak's fault. I got you.
When the Chargers are driving with over 2 minutes to go, and all they need is a field goal to tie it up because Mike McCarthy's a chicken.
Yeah.
That's Dak. Dak came out there and played defense, I guess. I didn't see that last night on TV.
Sometimes I wonder about you.
I'm just wondering because you said Dak's the reason, so I'm just wondering.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Indy Kalu will join us in about 10 minutes. The best 30 minutes in radio coming up because you never know where that conversation is going to go. But as the Spurs get ready to start the regular season in a little over a week and a half, and we'll make our season predictions coming up probably on opening day, right? We'll be sitting at the Roo Pub, getting ready. Right. We'll be live opening night at the 25th at the Roo Pub. That's probably when we'll do our record predictions because I'm seeing, 32 wins, 28 wins, I'm like, Zach Lowe at ESPN.com ranks teams today on the website 11-30. He's got the San Antonio Spurs ranked 14th,
which baffles the hell out of me.
Well, what he writes though, if preseason is any indication, and you never know,
and it's not,
Wemby is as advertised on defense and maybe ahead of schedule on offense. And if he stays ahead of schedule on offense, then the Spurs are going to be far better than what many predicted. And I believe he's got them at 31.5 is kind of the over-under, which seems about right. When you think about last year's team, you wonder how many games could they have won if they tried in the fourth quarter. And I say that some of the lineups in the fourth quarter weren't trying to play winning basketball.
Well, yeah, because
tanking worked because they got Wemby.
As much as I hate to admit it, it did. It worked. They took a chance, rolled the dice, and it worked out. When you look at this, and I get this, and everybody's excited about Wemby, as we all should be. I want to see this guy in the regular season, see what kind of difference he makes. He's making the good part about what I've seen so far, not only, I mean, the things that we all knew. Offensively, he's something else, but he gets everybody else involved. And I think that, to me, has been more impressive than anything else. Anything else. But Zach Lowe's got the Clippers. They still have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. He's got them only 28.5 wins.
Now, this article,
he's got the Houston Rockets ahead of the Clippers.
Well, again, this is in watchability and fun. And they're going to be fun to watch with high watchability. The Clippers have a fun guy, so he says.
Well,
but
why is he predicting win totals? I mean, if it's all about watchability and fun.
Because it's not about wins and losses. It's about watchability and fun.
Well, he's predicting wins, though. That's what I'm saying. Read the article.
Again, are they going to be fun to watch? It's not watching paint dry. It's not watching 4 down. It's not watching predictability. And I think with Wemby, you were probably going to see stuff every night where you go, holy crap, did I just see that? Almost like what we saw with Manu. I mean, Manu was 10 years into his career, and he would do something in a game that you're like, I've never seen anything like that before in my life.
Yeah, Manu did that. Yes, he did. And Wemby's got the potential to do that as well. Look, I'm looking forward to watching the guy. I am. And I just, again, I've said I was impressed with how he gets everybody else involved. He's not a selfish basketball player, even though he could probably go down the floor, take the ball, and do whatever he wants with it. He's not a selfish ball player. And to me, that's going to make everybody else around him that much better. And they've got some talent on that team. So I don't know if they're 14, but they are going to be fun to watch if that's what this is all about. And they are, I think, going to be better than a lot of people think in year one.
Yeah, based on numbers today, on win totals that I've seen for the Spurs, I take the over on every one that I've seen. And
does that include the 31.5 that Lowe's got here?
Yeah. I mean, you look at, somewhere between 38 and 42. If the guy wants to win NBA Rookie of the Year, he's got to play a vast majority of the games based under the new rules, and I think he will. So if he stays healthy, and you look at the Devin Vassell's and the talent that was here last year, at times looked so much better than what their record was. And I'll go back to a lot of fourth quarters, they weren't playing winning basketball. The coach had decided we're not trying to win this game because they were tanking, and tanking worked. Even as much as it sucked, it worked because we got Wemby. And so it's hard to say what their true win total would have been last year if they tried, but they lost a ton of games, in that 10-point range. Games that they were up in the third quarter that they would lose by 10 or less because they weren't trying to win those games. So, but if you go based off of last year, how many more wins are they going to get this year? It's crazy.
Well, you got to figure Wemby. And what was their win total last year? 22? Is that what it finished at? I think it was somewhere in that neighborhood. You got to figure at least 10 more wins. At the very least, 10 more wins. Pledge just pulled up the odds from the casinos, and everybody's got them right at 29.5.
Yeah, so the average, and that's through every book, whether you're looking at MGM, Caesars, all of them. I think the average is 28.5, which if I'm in Vegas, take that.
Every time it looks too easy, though. That's why they build those big hotels.
What was the final in last night's Monday night game?
It was 20-17.
And what was the over/under in Vegas?
50.
And we both thought that was too low.
It was too low, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of people bet the over.
Yeah.
Cowboys covered, by the way. They were a 1.5-point favorite. So interesting. Although that game, should have gone into overtime.
Well,
if not for that defense,
should have gone into
stepping
overtime.
up and winning the game for the Cowboys.
If it wasn't for Mike McCarthy not trying to get a touchdown instead of a field goal at the end of the game, I mean, both teams left points out there.
Oh, no doubt.
But both teams left points out there, and Micah Parsons absent the entire game, And I thought it was interesting. And Joe Buck, the pro that he is, right on cue, talking about, where's Micah Parsons been? And then boom.
Good look at Parsons there. He's been pretty quiet tonight. He's just been involved in one tackle, no sacks by the defense at all. They've handled him.
No sacks in San Francisco either, and here it is. Right on cue, Parsons. His first, the Cowboys' first, and what a time for it.
And the next play, Gilmore gets an interception.
Which was a horrible throw by Justin Herbert. I mean, just absolutely atrocious. But yeah, look, Troy Aikman was right. I mean, Micah Parsons was held in check the entire night until that final sack. I think and we've talked about this, Jason. Offensive coordinators have a way of figuring guys out, and I think some of them have figured Micah Parsons out a little bit. So that's up to Micah now and Dan Quinn to respond.
And while Mike only had that one sack, I do think Micah, D-Law, Odigizua, they got pressure on Herbert. And when they were getting pressure, Herbert's throws were way off target.
Yep.
And it felt like his clock was running a little fast. So even though those guys weren't getting there, the pressure, I think, was forcing a lot of bad throws from Justin Herbert.
There were a lot of bad throws, that's for sure.
Indy Kalu joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I was able to see the game clearly. Every play, every piece of grass, everything that there is. Why? Thanks to my good friends at Parkhurst New Vision. I tell you what, my life has completely changed, at least the way that I see things. I had lens replacement surgery. It's been a little over 3 months now, and I tell you what, everything is just absolutely golden when it comes to my vision. It is perfect. I was tired of dragging the readers around, tired of having to be embarrassed by turning the light on my phone at a dark restaurant. I don't have to do that anymore thanks to Parkhurst New Vision. Look, if you're like me and you're tired of all of those things that I just described, you owe it to yourself to give them a call. Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020, or you can check them out online at sanantoniolasik.com. They offer a variety of services there, like the lens replacement surgery I had. They do LASIK there, cataract surgery as well, all of which are going to change the way you see the world. Go in, ask questions. I promise you will feel good about the decision. Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020.
It's R&R in the morning.
Wednesday on R&R in the morning, we hope Rob got the trash out. Jerry Jones has spoken. How's he feel about being 4-2 versus 3-3? And those pesky Rangers try to go up 3-0 on the Astros.
Spurs are going to run it back. They take on the Rockets yet again. And Dr. Jason Garrett joins us. Going to be a good day. We'll start the party at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
I can't wait for what's next. Even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Pixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist prescribed blood thinner. Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com
or call 1-855-ELOQUIS.
NCE General Contractors, based in San Antonio, is one of the fastest growing nationwide general contractors with a focus on commercial new construction, design build projects, building renovations, tenant finish outs, site upgrades, and building maintenance. NCE President Brian Ehrlich's a former Madison quarterback and proud to support high school football in San Antonio, building relationships first, then buildings that last. Learn more about NCE General Contractors online at ncegc.co. That's ncegc.co.
Life moves fast. No one has time for a car, truck wreck, or commercial vehicle accident. At Davis Law Firm, we get it. When you call the force, you don't have to worry about insulting offers from insurance adjusters, property damage, or car rental. With over 25 years experience, we have secured important verdicts and settlements, some in the millions of dollars. I'm Jeff Davis. If you were in a car, truck wreck, or hit by a commercial vehicle, call me at 444-4444. You got it. There's only one number to remember. 4. Attorney consultation by appointment only. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio. Davis Law Firm is a proud official partner, personal injury attorney of the San Antonio Spurs.
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters. We've got a deal on window tint, and we've got a deal on car alarms too. You got to get to Mother's Window Tint right now, because if you do, it's National Pizza Month, and we're going to give you a free 18-inch one-topping pizza from Sophia's Pizzeria. That's right. Come get your windows tinted. Come buy an auto alarm, get your stereo installed, and we're going to give you a free pizza. It makes going to Mother's Window Tint that much more special. All stores open Tuesday through Saturday in San Antonio, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. On the web at motherswindowtint.com. Like us on Facebook. Hey, I got an idea. Go to Mother's Window Tint today and get your windows tinted. Buy an alarm system and make sure you get a free pizza from Sophia's Pizzeria while you're there. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Is your AC working but the house is still uncomfortable? Call Airtron Heating and Air Conditioning. Your AC cools, but it can't defend against humidity alone. Take control of your home comfort with a whole home dehumidifier and save $3,000. Plus, you can save up to $2,500 on a furnace and AC made by Carrier. Turn to the experts and installed by Airtron. Call today for same-day estimates and next-day installations. Visit Airtron.com for terms and conditions. Savings cannot be combined with any other promotion. License number TACLA 000399898C.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
It's the Mike McCarthy Show every Friday morning at 6:45 and 9 with R&R in the morning.
Morning, Coach. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Good morning, Rob and Rudy.
Good morning.
A look at the Cowboys' upcoming game presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Should I keep it light?
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. On our YouTube live feed, you should subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Joshua writes, oh yeah, Indy Tuesday. Had to put some Blues Clues on the TV to get my phone back from my daughter for this great conversation.
Absolutely.
As the great Indy Kalu joins us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Indy Kalu, or Blues Clues. That's got to make you feel pretty good.
Blues Clues. Should I know what that is?
You should.
Yeah, well, no, you shouldn't,
kids,
actually.
You've got kids at the age range where you should know Blues Clues.
You know what? I'm going to feel like a bad parent because I thought I put them in front of all the right episodes, but I'm not familiar with that one.
Are you kidding? Blues Clues. So Erica is 25, my daughter. And when she was little, we weren't going to put a TV in her room or the game room. And I was doing a morning show at the time, and I'd pick her up, I don't know, around noon every day. And Joanna's an ER nurse, so she'd get home 7:30, 8 o'clock. After about 4 days of Blues Clues, she got a TV in the game room because I couldn't deal with that stuff.
So that's been on that long?
Yeah.
Blues Clues?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what Blues Clues is either.
Yeah,
Indeed.
but you're clueless, so that's not
I feel
I
better.
mean,
my kids
well, I'm in
watch
good
those
company.
like Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Like Sesame Street, Reading Rainbow. I made them watch those episodes.
Well, for Josh, I get it, man, because Blues Clues will keep your kid occupied for hours.
Well, good job for him.
Yeah, exactly. Indy, you look at the Texans going into the bye after a win over the Saints, an impressive win over the Saints. Quite honestly, I thought the Saints would go in there and not blow out Houston, but I thought they were the better team going in. I thought ultimately Derek Carr and that offense would end up getting a win. What did Houston do on the defensive side to shut down the Saints?
You know what? They keep winning the turnover battle. Because I'm with you. I talk a lot of trash and, joke about the Texans, but I was expecting the Saints, especially with their dominant performance the week before, to come in and pull out the victory. But when you win the turnover game, when your quarterback is still steady, he threw his first interception of the season. But on that interception, Nico Collins makes a great play and strips the ball away, and they get the ball right back. So technically it's an interception, but you really don't lose a series. But to answer your question, I mean, to beat a team, and they have Alvin Kamara coming back, so that's a potent weapon right there. As long as you continue to win the turnover battle and play well on special teams, that'll keep you in every game, and that's what they're doing right now.
Indeed, when you look at the Texans, I mean, before the season, you think, boy, 6 wins, 7 wins, that would be a fantastic season. At this point in time, you got to be pretty hopeful that you're going to get north of either one of those numbers I just said.
And not only that, and I'll admit part of the reason I'm saying this is because the division is one of the lesser divisions in the NFL. But if you win the division, you're going to the playoffs. But now it's a situation where you're saying, hey, you still have to take it one game at a time. But with everything going on in the AFC South and with the way C.J. Stroud is playing as the best professional quarterback in the state of Texas, you have a chance to not just win the AFC South, but to get into the playoffs. But you're right. I mean, I'm with you. Before the season, I try to keep it realistic, and I'm a little bit biased because of what and how I feel about DeMeco Ryans. But I was thinking 6-7 wins at best. But now you're like, hey, it's still the NFL, still hard to win week to week. But with this AFC South division, it's more about saying it's a realistic opportunity to win the division. If you win the division, regardless of the record, you're going to the playoffs.
Indy Blitz on the Buyers Barricades guest line. That said, Indy, if they come out of the bye and play the way most thought they would play this year, does that end up becoming a disappointment for the Texans this year?
If they come out of the bye, and you're saying like if it's almost like you go back to reality and you look like a rebuilding team, but I just don't see that because their first game out of the bye is Carolina. Carolina's struggling. C.J. Stroud's teammates are going to get behind them because it's going to be the number 1 overall pick versus number 2 overall pick. And I think if they can ride that momentum, they should beat Carolina. That's one of the few teams I say, no matter what, they should just win that game. But then you talk about a 3-game win streak, a win before the bye, a win after the bye. I just don't see it happening where it's like, okay, let's bring them back down to earth and start losing games because this is the perfect setup. I've talked to some of the players, they're already getting excited about beating Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers to show everybody that C.J. Stroud's the best rookie quarterback in the league. So, you know what? I just don't see a scenario where they take a step back because that intensity is still there.
Well, and Indy, as good as well as anybody. I mean, sometimes you get into the right place, your success is going to be better. And I think C.J. Stroud's got to be thanking his lucky stars that he ended up in Houston and not in Carolina. Having said all of that, we know he's playing well. DeMeco Ryans, it's just everybody just bought into this guy's system. I mean, is he that good of a coach?
All the players have. And not only is he that good of a coach, he's a great motivator, a great leader. And that's how he was as a player. You know, I always joke around and tell people when he was a rookie, he had a bunch of us vets calling him Sir just because of the way he carried himself in, you know, not just in the locker room, but in the huddle. And I think that's resonating as a head coach. So he's young enough to where many of the players remember him playing and they're saying, oh yeah, he was a great player, but he's still old enough in their eyes to where they respect him as the leader of the entire team.
Indy Kalu here on the Blitz. And as you say that, you see some of those same qualities in C.J. Stroud. Reading an article that goes to lunch with Tom Brady, and he picks, you know, the brain of Tom Brady, and he's trying to emulate those kinds of things. And for him to be voted a captain early, I thought that was a surprise, but he's earned that from his teammates. As you're around and and you are as an analyst with the Texans TV, what do you see in talking with C.J. Stroud this deep into the season, 6 games in versus training camp?
Just the intangibles and just how he continues to grow as a leader. And I don't understand why more young quarterbacks who are taken high don't do what he did as far as going out to eat with Tom Brady, picking his brain. Like, if I was a young quarterback in this game right now, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, they would have to get a restraining order against me. So credit to C.J. Stroud for being smart enough but yet humble enough to say, hey, I'm going to go pick the brain of the best. But when you talk to him, he's just wise beyond his years. And the way he carries himself, some of his answers after a loss, you just realize that he gets it. So it's just fun to watch because he's so young. But when you talk to him, you feel like you're talking to a guy that's been in the league 5, 6, 7 years.
Indy, I've got to ask you this as a former professional football player. We look at the NFL and you mentioned New Orleans, who just came off of the beatdown of New England, which everybody is doing these days. So maybe it wasn't that impressive. But why is the NFL a week-to-week league? Why does that happen? The team looks horrible one week, like Dallas, and then they come back and get a win the next week.
Free agency and talent. I mean, this is the most talented league, obviously, when it comes to football. Whoever the worst team is in the NFL, when you look at them on paper versus the best team, the Kansas City Chiefs of the world, the talent level, there's not that much of a difference. So I think that's why one week the Miami Dolphins are beating somebody 70-20, and then the next week they're losing to what's considered an average team in the NFL. I just think that the talent level is so similar across the board that if you have one system that isn't working that one week, if you have one game plan that, isn't quite right, anything can happen. And I would say outside of Kansas City, but even now with Kansas City, they still have a great record. Patrick Mahomes is still the best quarterback in the league, in my opinion, but they can be beat. There's not a team out there that you feel like they're just going to dominate throughout the year. And I just think because there's so much talent, and the NFL is great that talent throughout the entire league.
As you say that, though, because I think the most dominant team in the league right now is San Francisco, yet they go out and lose to Cleveland. Cleveland's got a great defense. They were going with a USFL quarterback in that game, not the regular running back. Brock Purdy looks sort of normal without his 2 key weapons, yet he still got him in position to win, and a kicker misses a kick that would have given San Francisco the win.
Yeah, there you go again, talking about kickers. I mean, that's why we don't talk about kickers. Like you have one job to do, and you can't finish it all. But all jokes aside, I mean, you bring up some great points. Like San Francisco did, and you could even say still does look like one of the top 3 best teams in the NFL. But then they go lose to a Cleveland team that doesn't even have their full force, on the field as far as quarterback, running back. So. Again, it just goes to show any given Sunday. I know I sound like a broken record when I keep bringing up that cliche, but in the NFL, it truly is any given Sunday.
All right, Indy, I've got to ask you, what did you think of Dak Prescott's performance last night?
I watched that entire game, rooting for the Cowboys the entire game, but I'm still just kind of like, he's a good quarterback, nothing more, nothing less. So like he's just a guy that I want to get excited about him. I want to see. He's not the type of quarterback that can say, hey, hold my beer, get on my back, and I'm just going to will us to deep into the playoffs. He's a quarterback where everything around him has to be right, and then things will work out.
It was his 20th game-winning drive. Just saying. But you look at you look at the game last night from a play calling standpoint. Late in the first half, McCarthy lets all that time run off the clock so he could take the field goal. He has 2 timeouts. If you're a player, are you going, that guy does not trust our offense, our receivers, our line, our quarterback, to not turn it over here to where he's happy with a field goal and he's going to put those 2 timeouts in a case and keep them on display for the rest of his life because that's all you can do with them?
100%. Well, when I watch games, I'm usually just watching to be entertained. But I was just wondering how in the world, when you have CeeDee Lamb, you have your franchise quarterback, you have guys like Brandon Cooks, you have so many playmakers. How do you not go for the end zone? That just lets you know that he was in it to play it safe, and he truly does not trust his quarterback. He doesn't trust his quarterback not to turn it over down there.
You know, and as players in that locker room, you see that, you feel that, do you not? And how does that affect the locker room?
I hate to say it, but some of those defensive guys, they've seen some of the plays Dak's made. They might be like, you know what? Good job, coach. Like, when you have that defense and some of the plays that Dak has made, Micah Parsons and those guys, they're like, yeah, we get it. Just get us 3, and we're gonna go out there and do our job.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's fair. Dak has certainly earned that. Although this year he's thrown 4 interceptions on the season. 3 of those came in one game in the second half of a blowout. He's been pretty clean with the football this year. But if you're Dak Prescott, do you feel like my coach doesn't trust me? And how does that affect your relationship with your coach and your play caller?
Well, prove them wrong. You know, here's the thing. Here's the difference, in my opinion. Again, Dak is very good, but the greats, the Tom Brady's, the Peyton Mannings, they're changing the play in the huddle. They're like, screw that. Like, you know, if you don't trust me, let me show you why you should trust me. And I don't think that's where Dak is at mentally. I almost think there might be a part of Dak that's like, ooh, thanks, coach. You know, thanks for not putting me on the spot. But the greats, and I'm talking about guys that you could count on one hand that have played recently, the Drew Breeses. Those guys are going to be, they're going to be arguing. You're going to see the body language. You're going to see them telling the coach, no, give, like the pitcher, like who shakes his head, like, no, give me another pitch, give me another play. But I think Dak is like, hey, coach told me to do this. This is what I'm going to do. But the greats, the true greats, Joe Burrow, I feel like he was headed towards this direction before the injury. The ones that truly believe in themselves, they're in the huddle saying, no, we're not going to run that. This is what we're going to do. And I don't think Dak has that confidence in himself.
Well, that brings up another point and a question that I want to ask you, Indy, as far as Mike McCarthy calling the plays as the head coach. Is that a good idea in your mind?
I never understood why head coaches want to do that. I know a lot of them do it, more of them, you know, I don't know what the percentage is. I would ask you guys what do y'all think it is. But if I was a head coach and I think I know ball, like I know there's people out there who knows more about football than I do, but it's just been a part of my entire life. But if I was blessed enough to be a head coach, man, I wouldn't be calling any plays during the play. I would hire a defensive coordinator who I think is smarter than me. I would hire an offensive coordinator who I think is smarter than me. I would hire a special teams coordinator who I think knows more about the game than I do. And during the week, I would set the schedule for practice. I'll try to do my best to set the culture. But on game day, it's like, hey, I trust y'all. Y'all make the calls. But I don't understand why so many coaches, head coaches, still like to be play callers. And I've never done it. You know, maybe there's some joy or some rush that comes from calling plays, but I never understood it because as a head coach, you have so many responsibilities, from all the different interviews that you have to do to, you know, talking to each player, making sure everybody's head is on straight, and your backups who think they should be starters, you know, making sure their head's still in the game. I don't understand why so many head coaches want to call plays.
Well, especially the old school ones, and Mike McCarthy just looks so stressed, like he's not having fun.
Yeah.
If it's fun for you to have that competitive going back and forth, but you look at Carolina, Frank Reich, he made his bones as a play caller. He's been calling plays, and well, now he's not going to call plays anymore. He's decided, or it's been decided for him, depending on what you really believe is happening. Somebody else is going to call plays. Because the other thing that I don't get is, you know, the head coach is calling plays from the sideline, and I look at so many coordinators that want to be up in the booth so they have a better view of what's going on. And I'm sure there's somebody up there talking to Mike McCarthy, but at the same time, you know, when you're looking at a Waffle House menu to call your plays, I mean, it's easy to get lost in the dessert section.
And, you know, something about Mike McCarthy, it looks like he's looking at the play sheet and saying to himself, I really wish this was a Denny's menu. Like, something about him just I don't know. I know you're not supposed to judge a person by their looks. Trust me, I know this. But something about him, he doesn't look confident when he's calling those plays. And with Frank Reich, I just read about that today. Part of me thinks he's saying, hey, let me prove to y'all it's not me. I'm going to let somebody else make the calls, and we're still going to sub, because man, that offensive line for Carolina is bad. So I don't care who's calling the plays. I don't expect to see much of an improvement.
And that might be it. And I think you might have just inadvertently hit the nail on the head with the problem with the Cowboys. You've got a coach that doesn't look confident with the plays that he's calling in. So if he's not confident, how confident are the players as they're executing the plays that have called in? Because we have heard him say, you know, what he calls is he expects to see run. There's 2 plays on every call. One of those 2 needs to be run. And remember, that was some of his issue with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, which got him out of Green Bay. Because if Aaron didn't like a play, he would just dart a ball.
Absolutely.
You know.
And that's my point with Aaron Rodgers. If he didn't like a play, you know, you just get the sense that he's either changing it or he's going to improvise. And Dak Prescott being it sounds like I'm dogging him, but it's also a positive. I think Dak's one of those employees that just wants to do everything by the book. No matter what the boss says, hey, I'm the ultimate corporate man. And again, I'm not saying it as a knock, but the greats, they have so much confidence in themselves. They're like, nah, I'm just not doing that.
Dak wants to get paid, ND, and so he's going to do whatever he wants to get paid again. By the way, I just want to let you know, in case you haven't looked at the stats, Cowboys have the best kicker in the NFL.
Oh, geez. Like, I don't. What is his name? I don't even know his name. I don't do kickers.
Brandon Aubrey.
Is that the one from Notre Dame?
No, he's off the couch.
Yeah, he played in the USFL, I think, or the XFL. One of them.
He was a soccer guy that went to the USFL.
Y'all just proved my point. The best kicker in the NFL is off the couch, was a soccer guy who played in the USFL. That's why I have no respect for kickers. Like, you could just get one from anywhere. Like, why would you spend a draft pick on a guy that you could get off the couch who played in the USFL? There's no other position where you could say, you know what, that guy was just off the couch and he played in the USFL.
Kevontae Turpin for the Dallas Cowboys came from the. There's a lot of guys. But yeah, the little guy, little gadget guy.
He should have been in the NFL. Isn't he the one who likes to beat on women?
He had some issues while at TCU, yes.
Yeah, he's an NFL talent, but when you're beating on women, you know you're not going to be in the NFL. But this kicker is just a kicker. Like, yeah, he has NFL talent, but he had a middle school, way of doing things as far as his thought process, hitting on women. So that's a bad example.
Well, you might want to start paying attention to Brandon Aubrey. I'm just giving you a little heads up there, ND.
Joe is so right that he got one right. He is so excited that he got one right. I mean, he got right on a kicker.
They brought him from the USFL this past season.
Yeah,
he won a championship there, by the way.
He showed up in Oxnard, and Joe was like, we were watching a kicking competition. The other guy sucked. This guy sucked less. And Joe's been on this guy because I was like, bring in another kicker for competition. Joe loves him a kicker.
Talent. I can spot it.
And guess what? In 2 years, he'll be somewhere else.
Probably.
He'll be out of the league.
I know.
Out of the league.
Doesn't matter, ND. As long as I'm right today, that's all that matters.
IBM. That's what it is. ND, always appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, talk to y'all next week.
Good stuff. ND Kalu on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond.
Hey, I want to tell you about my friends at Woods Comfort Systems because they are celebrating 67 years they've been in business. That's incredible. And they have an anniversary special right now. In fact, they're offering seasonal furnace safety checks, normally $129. They're doing it for $67 for a limited time. So you might want to give them a call right now to schedule your visit with one of their factory-trained service technicians. 67 years in business. That is incredible. I've known them longer than, or as long as they've been in business, and they were in business before they met me. Believe it or not. That's incredible. Hey, I grew up with the Woods family in my hometown of Alice, Texas, and they've been treating people right for a long, long time. You don't stay in business that long if you're not doing something right. So take advantage of that $67 safety check on your furnace for a limited time. Give them a call, 877-324-6902. That's 877-324-6902. Or you can go to woodscomfortsystems.com. Give them a call. You'll be glad you did.
It's the Awesome Tickets Pro Football Pick'em Challenge on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your shot at $50,000 nationally, while weekly winners locally get a $50 gift card to 5 Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks. At the end of the season, locally, the best overall record wins the San Antonio Grand Prize of $1,000 worth of tickets to any event from Awesome Tickets. Sign up today at sasportstar.com.
Klein tools are new at Lowe's, pros. Lowe's knows you want top brands and quality products, and Klein Tools delivers. Right now, get the Klein 3-piece ModBox mobile workstation for $319.94 and the Klein 5-piece cushion grip screwdriver set for just $34.97, both exclusively at Lowe's. Shop the largest selection of Klein tools, the highest quality tool brand at Lowe's. Because Lowe's knows tools, Lowe's knows pros.
How do you bond with someone you have nothing in common with? Answer, fantasy football. How do you reconnect with old friends? Answer, fantasy football. How do you spice up small talk? How do you overcome awkward situations? How do you prove to your peers that you're a smart, capable, devastatingly good-looking force to be reckoned with, and nothing they can do or say will ever change that? Answer, ESPN Fantasy Football. Play the #1 fantasy game. Sign up at espn.com/fantasyfootball. Insights provided by IBM Watson.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Happy 62nd birthday, Granddad.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I got you this.
A mug. What does it say? Beware. If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of serious consequences from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. RSV vaccines, including Pfizer's, are available. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
It's football season and the Roo Pub is kicking off their 10-year anniversary party. Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch a game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. College football, pro football, the games are on at the Roo. Aggie fans, every game will be on with sound. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Celebrating 10 years, the Roo Pub next to the Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
O'Reilly. O'Reilly Auto Parts' new Brake Best Select Pro brand raises the bar for the best aftermarket domestic brake pads and rotors available. For vehicle-specific friction formulations, Quiet-Tech noise-canceling shims, and stainless steel hardware, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Professional-grade brakes from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's time for the fall haul at Northern Tool and Equipment. Get your hands on tough tools at prices that are tough to ignore. Got plans? Cancel them. Trucks in the shop? Borrow someone else's. Don't like saving money? Right. So head to the fall haul at Northern Tool. Back up the truck for the season's biggest event and save on generators, power tools, trailers, and more. Shop in-store or at northerntool.com. We're made for this.
The San Antonio Quarterback Club is celebrating their 76th year. The San Antonio Quarterback Club meets every Tuesday and is a proud supporter of Gridiron Heroes Spinal Cord Injury Foundation. This week's speaker is UIW head coach Clint Killa and former Cardinals coach, now Texas State head coach G.J. Kinney. Should be a great conversation that begins at 11 at the Corey Golf Club. The San Antonio Quarterback Club. For more info, go to saqbclub.com. That's saqbclub.com. Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds are one of the boldest, protein-packed, and low-carb snacks out there. And with flavors that will have you craving for more, you'll want to stock up on Southern Recipe small batch at your local H-E-B. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds today. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous. Find your flavor at southernrecipesmallbatch.com.
From the George Salinas Personal Injury Attorney Studios, this is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville. KTFM Floresville. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Philadelphia Eagles, trying to improve their receiving core, went out today and signed veteran wide receiver Julio Jones to a one-year deal. Cowboys heading to the bye after that big win against the Chargers last night. They're 4-2. They'll resume play on October 29th at home against the Rams. And the ALCS taking the day off, headed to Arlington for Game 3 tomorrow night. Rangers lead the Astros 2-0 in that best-of-7 series.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Tomorrow we're going to be live out at the SA Card House there at 281 and Bitter.
Yeah, come play some poker with us.
It'll be a good time tomorrow, 2 to 6.
You a poker player?
I am not.
No?
No.
Let's go play some poker.
I never got into poker.
No?
No. Well, I mean, when I was in the Navy, there was lots of guys that were playing poker. So I was learning.
Yeah.
Then I realized that they were just trying to take advantage of a new guy trying to always change the rules and get my money. So
change the rules on you, huh?
Well, I mean, yeah. So, I wasn't, I don't think, learning the right way, if you know what I mean. So I just kind of bailed on playing. And then when poker was getting very popular, I was out. I'm out.
Used to, man, gosh, it's been some years. Knew a guy that ran a poker game, and they come to your house, and we go to different houses and play. And sometimes, man, especially you won't get started till midnight because we're all TV folks. We play till 5, 6 in the morning.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I have
a lot of fun.
I feel like a lot of times I'm missing out.
Yeah.
Because I've got a lot of
I'll teach you tomorrow, Jason. Bring your money and I'll teach you.
It's exactly why I don't know how to play. Wife who thinks she knows how to play, and she's always the first one out. When Erica was in high school over at Johnson, friend of ours, we would always do the through the booster club, the coaches poker night, and a couple times we hosted it at our house.
I got you.
And it was a lot of fun trying to learn then. But old Doc Moore, I mean, that guy went to the World Series of Poker in Vegas. We went with him there, and I realized, I can't play with these guys.
Yeah,
either.
some of those guys are pretty good. I will say. Now, I'm not on that level, but I enjoy playing, and I think I can hold my own. We'll see.
Yeah. I don't know how.
Nah, we'll see.
I mean,
it'll be fun tomorrow.
It's not like my golf game where I I can go hack around and have some fun.
You're bad, right?
Well, I know I'm bad, but I know I can at least go out there and hack around and have some fun with with different people trying to teach you different things. You always just feel like you're just teaching me to take my money.
Well, sometimes that happens on the golf course too, though. Unless you ask.
I don't lose money on the golf course because I don't put money on the golf course for me to lose. I know what I'm there.
I won $7 Sunday on the golf course.
$7 whole $7.
How about that?
$7 whole.
Very proud of that $7. Yeah.
How did you win that? Did you drive away before she realized her car didn't work?
Dude, I played as good a golf as I've played in a long time on Sunday. So,
really?
Yeah, I really did. Yeah, it was good. Fun.
I need to go play golf.
And it was windy as hell on Sunday, too.
That explains why you played well.
Maybe so. Who knows? Some of those errant shots, the wind would help me. Yeah. I actually played well. I was happy with that. Yes.
It's a bye weekend.
Yeah.
We need a weekend out at like the golf club at Texas. I've not played golf since football season
started. Because I still owe this guy. He thinks, he's all that in a bag of chips at golf. And
pledge?
Yeah, I need to take him.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
as long as we're not trying to hit radio towers and stuff.
I was going to say, he kicked your ass in real golf. You kicked his ass in golden tee.
That wasn't actually real golf.
I it was a real golf ball and a real golf club and a real
like
target.
Putt hitting the clown's mouth kind of thing, you know?
If you want to go with that, I'm just saying. I think I'd call it even and be good.
Be good? Nah, I can't do that. I'm hard-headed.
Trust me, we know. You ever need a little extra money, just make a bet with Joe.
That's
Chances are pretty good you're going to get that cash you're looking for.
Well, how are those Astros doing?
It ain't over yet.
Oh, I just asked how they were doing. I said it was over
yet.
I didn't say it was over. I said, how are they doing?
Uh-huh. Hey, Gary, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, guys, man, I tell you, I know y'all don't give us a lot of time to talk, so I had to write the things down. I like to run some things off real quick to you guys. Number one, I think Dak is being protected against himself because I think in the past he was given the option to audible out, and you saw how that turned out. He was out 5 games. If they weren't protecting him this year, I mean, last year he could have thrown about 19 or 20 interceptions. Number two, I think he was more aggressive this game, which is a good day. They need to cut out the penalties. And also, when y'all talk to Mike McCarthy in the mornings, can you take a question from the fans and ask him, why are you not running left kick on the goal line?
You know, I mean, there's so many questions, and he is on with Rob and Rudy every Friday morning, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. And yeah, I mean, there is that. There's so many questions with the play calling, but you go back to the Tex Coast offense, the West Coast principles.
Oh, man.
And that's what the Cowboys are running. And that's what Mike McCarthy made his bones doing.
Aren't those
right?
outdated, though? Seriously? I mean, isn't it outdated?
Well, I mean, I think no.
The West Coast offense?
Most of football right now is running the West Coast. It's what kind of wrinkles you've added into the West Coast offense.
Okay.
Right?
I guess. Well, he hadn't added any wrinkles. It's still
no. I mean, he peeled everything back and got the iron-free shirt, and we're just wash and go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty simple, and I think that's part of the problem. So, like when I say like within the offense and hearing what Mike McCarthy has consistently said he wants this offense to be, that's why you say Dak had a great game last night. Sure, he didn't throw for 350 yards. That's not what the Cowboys are looking to do this year. I'm surprised they are running the ball as little as they are running it based on everything that Mike McCarthy is saying.
Or not having much success running the football, and that's a problem. And who is that on? Is that Tony Pollard? Is the offensive line? Well, I mean, maybe a combination of both.
I think Mike McCarthy revealed something last week with Rob and Rudy when he said, we've got an entire new protection and blocking scheme. So all these guys, all their calls, all their everything apparently is new and different. And that's one area not many of us can look at what an offensive line is doing and say, are they doing well or not, except for are there holes and is your quarterback getting sacked? But if you've changed all of that, even though you have a couple of Hall of Famers on that offensive line, you're creating reasons why there could be some leaks, right? And we're seeing that. You know, the run protection. Is Tony Pollard the kind of running back that can go between the tackles and get those tough yards? And he's great in space. We know that. That's well documented. But so far, especially say the last 3 games, trying to run right up the middle, that ain't working for the Dallas Cowboys. It's not working for Tony Pollard.
It's not. And you wonder about that offensive line, and maybe it is the scheme. I mean, would they give up 5 sacks last night?
Mm-hmm.
Although, you know, Troy Aikman on numerous occasions was critical of Dak, saying he's got to get rid of the football a little sooner than he was.
He does, but I think, and he was holding the ball a little longer last night, and I think having those 5 guys in front of him gave him the confidence to hold, because he had kept a lot of the bigger plays you saw last night, Dak holding the ball, keeping a play alive, letting guys get open, because, you know, he's holding it so he's not throwing it when a guy's not open yet. And that cost him a couple of times, but other times that's what turned into big plays for the Cowboys. He kept plays alive, kept his eyes downfield, and CeeDee Lamb was coming open. Brandon Cooks was coming open. Hell, that big play to Tony Pollard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was all Dak's legs keeping that play alive, found Tony for what would have been the first down, and then Tony made that great spin move, kept his balance and turned it into a 60-yard gain. But all of that was because Dak Prescott held the ball longer and kept plays alive because of his legs.
But sometimes you can't do that. I mean, sometimes, and obviously, if a guy like Troy Aikman is critical of you for holding the ball, I mean, that's somebody I'm going to listen to, certainly. And I'm surprised that you're not. But what I would like to see more of Dak not running the football like he did last night. Now, an option play every now and then, but moving him around in the pocket, I think, is a good thing. And I absolutely would like to see more of that.
Where I'm agree with, because he held the ball and he took the sack. At some point, just throw it in the stands, throw it away, and don't take the sack. I'd rather have the incompletion there.
Sure.
And I think just the idea of Dak just waiting so long for somebody to come open, which I think is his confident that he can stand there and do that his guys are going to come open. But at some point, just throw the ball away. I mean, there were a couple of sacks that he took where you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean,
it should be in the second row of the stands.
Just throw it out of bounds. Those were, I think, where, don't take a sack. Just don't take a sack. But I appreciated him having the patience to stand in the pocket, knowing he's going to get hit, waiting for somebody to come open, because we didn't see that last week. We didn't see that against San Francisco. We didn't see that against Arizona. And I think that is a byproduct of the 5 guys in front of him, where he's confident that they're going to hold up a little bit longer than, say, the 3 guys that were playing in the Arizona game.
Well, the offensive line is solid. There's no doubt about that. But
when they're not holding.
Yeah, well, 11 penalties. That's a killer, man.
Yeah.
But that's Mike McCarthy. It's been that way since he got there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to blame McCarthy for that. It's the players holding. But
you got an undisciplined football team.
Yeah, well,
you have an undisciplined football team. That's all you can say when you consistently are getting penalties like that, especially the pre-snap penalties that the Cowboys have been getting. Ultimately, though, the Cowboys got to win. Hopefully, you got to win at Underdog Fantasy, or the app, or if you're playing online at UnderdogFantasy.com. So much fun to play with the Pick'em game. I didn't win any money last night because I had Tony Pollard and higher on the yardage, and he was far from that. But you can win good money at Underdog Fantasy, picking between 2 and 5 players to build your Pick'em entry. And all you have to do is select whether you think they're going to go higher or lower on predicted stats. And you could win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. It's a fantasy game, but you can win real cash, and it is legal in Texas. And right now, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $500. Plus, new customers will have a mystery special pick in their Pick'em lobby when you sign up and use my promo code STAR. So Underdog will double your first deposit up to $500 when you sign up using promo code STAR at UnderdogFantasy.com, or go download the app. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Take advantage of that up to $500 first deposit match using promo code STAR at UnderdogFantasy.com.
Wemby, man, the hype is insane. I love the guy. I love his game. I love him playing for that coach. I love him in that community. And I think it's a great thing.
It's the Jim Rome Show, where Wemby and Rome rule. Weekdays at noon.
Hey, Jim Rome here.
Have a take, San Antonio. And certainly do not suck.
Man, I'm nervous. I wouldn't want that gig.
It's the Jim Rome Show, weekdays at noon on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo, and auto security headquarters. We've got a deal on window tint, and we've got a deal on car alarms, too. You got to get to Mother's Window Tint right now, because if you do, it's National Pizza Month, and we're going to give you a free 18-inch one-topping pizza from Sophia's Pizzeria. That's right. Come get your windows tinted. Come buy an auto alarm. Get your stereo installed. And we're going to give you a free pizza. It makes going to Mother's Window Tint that much more special. All stores open Tuesday through Saturday in San Antonio, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. On the web at motherswindowtint.com. Like us on Facebook. Hey, I got an idea. Go to Mother's Window Tint today and get your windows tinted. Buy an alarm system and make sure you get a free pizza from Sophia's Pizzeria while you're there. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
The annual Thomas J. Henry Bark in the Park Pet Costume Contest is coming back to the Sunken Garden Theater. Join us on Saturday, October 21st from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. for a pet-friendly, family-friendly, tail-wagging time. Enter your pet in the biggest costume contest in Texas with cash prizes up to $1,000. All proceeds benefit local pet rescue organizations. There's plenty to do from costume contests, vendors, food trucks, kids zone, and more. For more info or to register your pet in the costume contest, visit bark.tjhlaw.com.
Joel, don't you just love Halloween?
It's okay, but I do like your troll costume.
I'm not wearing a costume.
Folks, if your home's AC starts making those witching sounds or the pipes in your wall start moaning and clanging like ghosts having a party, call Quarter Moon at 651-5899 and we'll send our team of highly trained
Ghostbusters!
I was gonna say technicians.
I ain't afraid of no clogs.
Quarter Moon Plumbing and AC, 651-5899. License number M16004. TACLA 000743445E.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Brett Kitchen, best-selling author and star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollars saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, The Baby Boomer Dilemma, at 800-648-0303. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you'll get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call right now, 1-800-648-0303. That's 1-800-648-0303, 1-800-648-0303.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax. Touchdown! A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax. 100% natural male enhancement formulas only available at Ultra. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
Is your AC working but the house is still uncomfortable? Call Airtron Heating and Air Conditioning. Your AC cools, but it can't defend against humidity alone. Take control of your home comfort with a whole home dehumidifier and save $3,000. Plus, you can save up to $2,500 on a furnace and AC made by Carrier. Turn to the experts and installed by Airtron. Call today for same-day estimates and next-day installations. Visit Airtron.com for terms and conditions. Savings cannot be combined with any other promotion. License number TACLA 000399898C.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the /1 sports bar.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Check out the Jim Rome Show, weekdays at noon.
If you're San Antonio, there are benefits that come along with it. I will cut you to the front of the line. We're going to hype the return.
On 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnick. I think one of the cooler moments last night, one of the more interesting moments, maybe is a better way to phrase it, is the hug out we saw pregame between Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson.
You know, that was interesting. And, yeah, you got to wonder now if that's just I don't know, is it a thing with those two? Because I'm not sure. I know Jimmy would like to be in the Ring of Honor, but he's just like, the old man. Whenever it happens, it happens.
You know, they talked about, Jerry on 105.3 The Fan this morning, to your point, Jimmy wants to go in.
Sure.
Jerry wants him to go in. But Jerry also likes having that over his buddy.
We visited about that, and we also, as people who've known each other a long time, we got a lot to needle each other about. And it's fun.
Yeah, Jerry's having fun.
He's having fun.
By not putting Jimmy in.
I mean, they still, when you saw them on the sideline, they looked like, they're smiling and no telling what they were saying to each other, but it looked like it was a pleasant conversation.
Well, I think, one, Jerry said that he was surprised Jimmy was there because normally, Jimmy does his work in L.A. and then gets on a plane and goes back down to Florida and fishes all week until it's time to go back to work. But the Cowboys are in town. I guess he had some duties for Fox this week, so he stayed in Los Angeles, went to the game. And Jerry, I mean, they're meeting on the field, but they didn't plan on it. It's not like Jerry said he had no idea that Jimmy was going to be there. But when you get a friend like that, you are going to make time to see that guy.
Let me be real candid. Jimmy and I have never had issues with being around each other and being able to communicate and, if you will, communicate in a positive way. Yeah. That's always been the case. And so that shouldn't surprise anybody. He's very, of course, familiar with my family, and we've spent a lot of time together. For me to be visiting with Jimmy has been going on for 50 years, and really 55 years.
Yeah.
And so it's not easy. You don't have any problem talking with somebody. If now during that period of time, do you have some issues that you probably don't bring up every time you see each other? Of course, but I think a lot of Jimmy Johnson, make no mistake about it.
Yeah, I just want to look at it from look, Jimmy belongs in the Ring of Honor. There's no question about it. But Jerry actually hired him to come coach the Cowboys.
Yeah.
There's that.
And what's your point?
My point is, I think he owes Jerry a debt of gratitude as well.
Well, I think that's the problem is, they've been friends for so long, teammates at Arkansas. I mean, their history is so well documented. He's a part of the family. And off the team and had to be, I was supposed to take care of that, right? Didn't do it. And Jimmy made the Herschel Walker trade.
Yeah,
Jimmy, got the Super Bowls.
Yeah,
and the egos didn't get along. And that version of Jerry,
because Jerry didn't get any credit.
Well, and he wanted all the credit. I mean, he's Jerry freaking Jones.
Yes,
you think about what he was like 30 years ago. But I do think that comment, you like to noodle each other, and it's fun. I think he likes having that over.
I'm sure he does
over Jimmy, because I'm sure Jimmy, when they're needling each other, brings up, you don't have those 3 rings without me. Those are my rings.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I think the pissing match probably goes both ways.
And you haven't had one since, by the way. I would point that out too.
Yes. And I do think it's the curse of Jimmy that's keeping the Cowboys from getting there. A little tongue in cheek, but I think, put him in the Ring of Honor and do we get a Super Bowl? Right. I mean, is that the football god saying, Jerry, you got to do this?
Yeah.
I mean, there's something, it's like the Cubs and the Billy Goat. I mean, there's just something about that just doesn't feel right, but I think it's just billionaire fun that he's got that. And it only matters to who, right? Jimmy doesn't need the validation of going into the Ring of Honor. Hell, he's in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Fans want it.
Of course.
Because
and he wants it.
And I think he wants it.
But yeah, if it doesn't happen in his lifetime, I don't think he's going to be missing out on anything.
You would think when you're 81 you would do everything you can to create that memory while you're alive and you could appreciate it. Because, I mean, how weird will it look is the first person into the Ring of Honor after Jerry dies is Steven puts in Jimmy, right? You know, I wonder if Steven calls him Uncle Jimmy. I don't know. I mean, you know what I mean? Well, I mean, you think about it, right? I mean, you know, it's like when the young people from Channel 5 that I meet, hey, how's Uncle Joe doing?
That's creepy.
Because you were Uncle Joe to all those young whippersnappers over there at Channel 5.
Henry Ramos started that, and it kind of stuck with all the kids over
that's
there
not
at Channel
creepy
5.
at all.
No, not at all. I mean, it did so, but I just kind of went with it. Look, if the Cowboys win a Super Bowl this year, Jimmy's in.
Yes.
Jerry just wants to win one without Jimmy, and then he's fine. He's in. That's all it takes.
I mean, they're both in the Hall of Fame. They're great friends.
Yeah.
They probably have more dirt on each other from back in the day.
I'm sure they do.
I mean, think about it.
Oh, yeah.
But, Jerry, you're 81.
Yeah.
It's not like Jimmy's getting any younger either.
Well, Jimmy's what, mid-70s?
At
Late
least,
70s?
I mean, they're close to the same age. Hell, they were college teammates
that's
together.
True. Yeah.
I mean, at some point, do that while you're both alive.
Well,
I mean,
it's Jerry Jones we're talking about.
I am a big fan of honor people while they are alive.
I agree with that. However, we're dealing with Jerry Jones. So he's 80.
Jimmy's 80?
80? That's nuts. Yeah, just turned 80. July, 16th? Yeah.
Huh.
I didn't realize Jimmy Johnson was 80 years old.
He's been a part of your life for how long?
Well, I guess so. How the hell old is Terry Bradshaw? You took the ages of those dudes sitting up there on NFL Fox. Man, that's a bunch of old dudes.
Think how old Howie Long is.
I know.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. So you got Michael Strahan, who's the puppy on that thing.
And he's old.
What? And he's in his 40s? Strahan's got to be in his 40s. And then, I mean.
All I know is that, I think about Jimmy's 80 and the lifestyle that he's living. You look at it.
And he's still got great hair, which is what I think. It's awesome.
Of course, that's what you know.
Of course.
Of course, that's what you know.
So when I'm 80, hopefully all the hair will still be there.
You're hoping to make 80. You imagine being that active at 80?
No.
I mean, flying from South Florida to LA every week to go to work?
Well, yeah, I'd like to have that job at 80. Going to work at NFL, what do you work, 2 days a week? Fly up there on Saturday and work Sunday. You fly home that night. He's probably got a private jet.
That they pay for.
He didn't have to go through, security like the rest of us.
He's got TSA pre. Probably A-list preferred on Southwest.
Dude, he's not flying Southwest.
2 free drinks. You don't know that.
He's not flying Southwest.
Dude,
he's flying his own plane with his own pilot, with his own bar, and probably a flight attendant with a very short skirt.
Wow. Uh-huh.
According to Gilberto Padilla, Strahan is 51, which is it's older than I thought he would be.
Older than me?
If that's accurate. Well, he looks a hell of a lot better than you do, though.
I mean, it's not saying much.
Well, that's a good point. I bet he wears a suit to a wedding.
Well, he has a suit line at JCPenney, so I'm guessing he does.
Are they still around?
I have no idea.
I didn't know JCPenney was still around.
Does he still have a suit line? JCPenney's is still around, right?
Are they?
Yeah.
Wow.
You should go to the mall every now and then.
Well, I do, but I haven't been to it. Where the hell's a mall that has a JCPenney?
Probably North Star.
No, they don't have a JCPenney in there.
How do you know?
Well,
when was the last time you were at North Star Mall?
Well, I went to the Cheesecake Factory in there.
That doesn't count. You went to the restaurant, didn't go into the mall.
No, I didn't.
Exactly.
They don't have a JCPenney in there.
Bet they do. Beer bet?
Well, I'm not going to do that because I know you just looked at it. Is it a North Star? It says San Pedro, so I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. You see, you were trying to screw me there.
I wasn't.
Yeah, you were.
Literally, I said North Star before he Googled it.
Whatever. You guys work in tandem. Did y'all rehearse this before the show?
Yeah, we're rehearsing this. Let's figure out a way to get JCPenney's in. And make Joe sound more elitist that he didn't even know JCPenney was still around.
You know, at the Sagewood Mall in Alice, Texas, they had a JCPenney, and back then that was like the crown jewel of the mall in Alice, Texas.
The Sagewood Mall?
Sagewood Mall, yes.
At One Palais Royal?
We called it J.C. Penney.
Do you order pasta? Can I get some pants and pasta at J.C. Penney? Good Lord. You know, injuries do happen. When they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to an Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocation, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to an Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
It's R&R in the morning.
Wednesday on R&R in the morning, we hope Rob got the trash out. Jerry Jones has spoken. How's he feel about being 4-2 versus 3-3? And those pesky Rangers try to go up 3-0 on the Astros.
The Spurs are going to run it back. They take on the Rockets yet again. And Dr. Jason Garrett joins us. Going to be a good day. We'll start the party at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high-commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Snap into action this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Must be present in a state where lawful to wager, must be 21 plus and present in select states. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino LLC. First online real money wager only, $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Tennessee, and Virginia. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana, 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com in Kansas, 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia or call 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelpma.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.
My name is Susan. Not long ago, I was in poor health. I had a fatty liver. My thyroid was out of whack. I was pre-diabetic. My knees hurt, and I was on cholesterol meds. I'm now down 43 pounds. People say to me all the time, you look so thin. I've gone from a size 18 to a size 10. I feel much better and can walk 2.5 miles without pain. Dr. Torres changed my life.
I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. Call me for your free consultation at 468-1891.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
When you or someone you know is going through the process of being accused of a crime, you need a team to help you protect your innocence. Who better to fight for you than former prosecutors, now defense lawyers, that know the justice system? The LaHood Norton Law Group will defend your freedom. When you choose us, you choose honest, aggressive, trusting, expert, and fearless representation. If you need help, you need the LaHood Norton Law Group on your side.
It's the Awesome Tickets Pro Football Pick'em Challenge on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your shot at $50,000 nationally, while weekly winners locally get a $50 gift card to Five Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks. At the end of the season, locally, the best overall record wins the San Antonio Grand Prize of $1,000 worth of tickets to any event from Awesome Tickets. Sign up today at sasportstar.com.
Snap back. Looks for a slant, caught Lamb, 35, 16 yards on the slant. Snap is back, fakes to Dowdle, pressured from behind, runs out to his right, throws on the run, got him on the sideline. C.D. Lamb on a crosser at the 30. Snap is back, well protected, throws it over the middle, Lamb's wide open at the 45. Wings it deep right, caught by Lamb, and he's out of bounds. Prescott in the gun, snap is back. Pressure coming over the middle, wide open at the 10-yard line. And a first down for C.D. Lamb.
Brad Cham with the calls last night on the Cowboys Radio Network and here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star as the Cowboys got a Monday night win over the L.A. Chargers. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. We're talking about it with you here on the Blitz. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You can tweet at Joe Reinagel 210. At Jason Minix. If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment there. Make sure and subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Prescott, 21 of 30, 272 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. He also ran for 40 yards and a touchdown. C.D. Lamb, 7 targets, 7 catches, 117 yards.
You know what's interesting about that stat line you just read there was a couple of things. Number one, the amount of attempts to Michael Gallup. And I don't know, I feel bad for that guy. And the lack of attempts to the tight ends. I mean, that's been the Cowboys' MO, and boy, they went away from that last night for sure.
Without breaking down the film, because I haven't, I wonder if defensively the Chargers took away the tight ends, knowing that the Cowboys love to go to the tight ends. I mean, Ferguson only had 1 catch for 15 yards. There was 1 target to McKeon, and he almost made that catch. But, after review, it was incomplete. It was the 10 targets to Michael Gallup that are still baffling, and only 3 catches for 24 yards for Michael Gallup. One, what was a perfect pass that he couldn't hang on to. I mean, I know there was a defender there. There was questions whether there should be PI on that one and as many flags that were thrown last night. But 10 targets for Michael Gallup. And it didn't look like Michael Gallup was so wide open on every one of those. It justified 10 targets.
Well, I mean, I think that tells you everything you need to know about what the defenses are doing. Obviously, they're paying attention to Cooks and Lamb, and Gallup's kind of the forgotten guy out there. And it looks like Dak's trying to take advantage of that, but they're just not hooking up. So I don't know what's going on with Gallup. He just has not been the same since that injury that he suffered a couple of years ago.
Overall, a solid game for the Cowboys offense. Yardage-wise, they put up a lot of yards. Time of possession was almost even. Penalties were a big problem. They weren't good on 3rd down, but neither were the Chargers. They didn't turn the ball over, except for that one weird play on special teams late. But the offense didn't turn the ball over. but they still are not getting the run game going. I love the fact that Dak ran the ball more. He was on the move. You could hear that in some of the calls from Brad Sham. I don't know if that was designed, or I know a couple of those he kept plays alive, but him running the ball was a big part of the offense last night, or at least it seemed like it was designed that way, especially that long touchdown run. But I don't know what the Cowboys need to do to get the running game going with running backs.
Yeah, that is a great question, and I don't know what it is. And you look at Tony Pollard; he was great in the passing game.
Mm-hmm.
You get him out there, get him in
space. He's the guy.
80 yards, but for whatever reason, he can't. And if Pollard's not the guy, and I'm not convinced that he's not just yet, maybe things will work out better. But if he's not the guy, they don't have the guy, do they? I mean, they don't have him.
It almost feels like, and 6 games in, because we all thought Tony Pollard could be the guy.
Yes.
Give him the opportunity. Is he an upgrade over Zeke? But they didn't replace Zeke in short yardage situations and in the red zone and on short yardage situations. Last year, Zeke was fantastic.
Yes.
You didn't replace that. This almost feels like a couple of years ago when they were going to go wide receiver by committee. It didn't work. So they made the trade and got Amari Cooper and kind of turned their season around. I almost wonder if the Tony Pollard, Rico Dowdle, and Deuce Vaughn / Malik Davis experiment is going, all right, this isn't it. Because they have a tight end, but they're not using Hunter in short yardage situations.
And I don't know. I don't get it, especially with the success that San Francisco has with that fullback.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. Why not put Lupke in there? I mean, he's a big dude. Let him lead the way for a guy like Tony Pollard, especially in short yardage situations. I mean, that can only help, it seems to me. You've got the guy, use him. He's on your roster, use him.
Because while I'm obviously happy with a Cowboys win.
Yeah.
And 21-30 for Dak, 272, the 5 sacks. I think he was holding the ball too long, waiting for things to happen. There are some of those I wish he would either thrown them away or run a little bit more, even though he did run the ball last night 7 times. But overall, I mean, you look at the Cowboys' offensive numbers, and unless you're a total hater, you're going to be pretty happy with what you saw. Running, total rushing yards, total passing yards, what they were able to do. But statistically, the Chargers are a bad defense. Now, they didn't play like a bad defense, and they've got some studs over there, and they got some studs back, and that should help them statistically. But statistically, that's not a very good defense. And the Cowboys got 20 points. Now, on the flip side, you know what the Chargers tend to do, especially with Eckler back. You thought they were going to run the ball a lot more, and the Cowboys did a fantastic job in stopping the Chargers' run.
Not only that, Jason, but usually when Eckler's in there, he's involved in the passing game. He was targeted 6 times last night, caught 4 for 35 yards. Usually he is much more a part of that pass offense for the Chargers than he was last night. So, yeah, somebody must have been spying on Eckler for sure, or was assigned to him, no doubt. Cowboys did a good job running. Their run defense was good last night. Really, the defense played pretty solid all the way around. They were getting pressure on Herbert, didn't sack him, but the one time there at the end. But they were getting pressure on him. And, boy, I'm really disappointed with Justin Herbert. And I'll be honest with you, because this guy, when he first came out, you thought he's the up-and-comer. He's a guy that you're going to be watching for the next 10 years. Super Bowls, he's got the arm. You figure he's got the intelligence. But he just hasn't really shown any improvement. He's been in the league now 4 years. And he just doesn't seem to – and maybe that's the team around him is part of it. Maybe it's a little bit of coaching. I don't know, but the guy just doesn't look like he's getting any better. He's just kind of treading water.
I look at – I mean, his stat line, 22 of 37 for 227 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. And there were a couple – I mean, you get a receiver like Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
And you miss him a couple of times or he's wide open.
Even the touchdown pass was not a good pass.
No, but there were a couple where Keenan Allen's got to be frustrated, right?
Yeah.
But when I look at Justin Herbert, 22 at 37, 227, 2 touchdowns and a pick. And, they have 53 total rushing yards. Boy, I feel like Kellen Moore called that game for the Cowboys, right? I mean, how many times did we see that, last year where, 37 pass attempts to 23 rushing attempts and say, that's what Mike McCarthy was trying to flip. And yet Kellen Moore, who, Simi Fehoko said yesterday he wants to score 100 against Dallas.
Came up a little short.
Yeah, I mean, to hold that Charger team to 17, that's big for that Cowboys defense.
I can't argue with that point. I mean, the defense played well last night. And again, that pass rush was good, helped the secondary out. And Herbert just didn't play well. I mean, let's face it, he didn't play well. A lot of that is the Cowboys defense.
And Deron Blanche should have had a couple of picks, including a pick six.
So, well, yeah. And the Gilmore pick, I mean, that pass was just awful.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just awful. But yeah, I would like to see the Cowboys score more. And that's the frustrating part. Yeah, you can say they got almost 350 yards total offense, but they only scored 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, I'm not sitting here saying, look, every win in the NFL is tough, especially when it's on the road. They got the win. That's what's important, and it really doesn't matter otherwise. But you would like to see that offense score more points than that against a defense that have been giving up a lot more points than that.
Well, that's, I mean, I guess the baby steps, the incremental growth, they were 2 of 4 in the red zone.
There you go.
There was that, the one really bad pass that Dak had was that wheel route to Tony Pollard.
Mm-hmm.
Although that pass was thrown where only Pollard would get it or it would be incomplete, but that was a miss. I mean, if he throws that inside, there's a chance it gets intercepted. But, even that, you look at what the Cowboys did offensively, I think you see there, and what I like seeing was it was a close game. Cowboys, do you call that a muff punt? Is that how it's going to be described? Was that a muff punt?
Yes.
Even though Turpin didn't touch it, and I want to say you got to believe Tolbert thought that he touched it in a scramble like that. It's hard to be mad at the kid, because if he doesn't make a play on it and the Chargers just recover it, then you're like, well, why don't you do anything?
Well, the Chargers would have scored a touchdown, right? I mean, well, they wouldn't have. They'd have downed it, right? Because he's the one that touched it. Okay.
If Tolbert doesn't go near that ball, it's Dallas's ball.
I remember the play now you're talking
about.
But
I don't think that Tolbert couldn't have known that it wasn't touched by Turpin or somebody on the Cowboys. The way the Chargers were reacting, I think he thought it was a live ball, right?
Apparently he did, because he went after it hard, and
yeah,
because Turpin never touched it. So yeah, that was a tough break.
And that's one of those things where Cowboys will figure out a way to do something stupid and lose a game that way. But then Dak has the nice game-winning drive. That's his 20th game-winning drive. 4 now behind Tony Romo for the Cowboys' all-time lead.
Where he did that, Dak, and I will give him credit, Justin Herbert didn't.
Yep.
Got the football back with 2.5, I think 2:25 left to play. They had 3 timeouts left, and Herbert just looked like he never played football. And granted, a lot of that was the Cowboys pass rush putting some heat on him, but my gosh, Herbert that's what I'm talking about, where he's not improving. He should have at least driven the Chargers down with that amount of time, those amount of timeouts, and at least tied that football game up.
When the Chargers got the ball on the north side of the 2-minute warning, you were either thinking in your chair at your house or whatever bar you were watching at, we're going to, at the very least, we're going to overtime.
Very least. And you're hoping Cowboys hold them to a field goal at the very least.
And 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, Cowboys lose that game.
Mm-hmm.
This defense is built different.
Mm-hmm.
This defense had to get a stop, and they were able to get a stop, and the Cowboys were able to win a tight game.
Yeah, this is huge, and that's actually what I told the offense when we were taking that kneel down there on that first knee down was, these are the games we're going to be in. I mean, we've had some blowouts, and then we had some games that didn't go our way that were maybe a little over a score, and the one lopsided. So we haven't had close games, but this is what the NFL is about. And that's all I said is we've got to get used to this. We've got to stay confident in this, understand that these close games, one score, field goal games, touchdown games, we've got to believe in ourselves, finishing it on our terms with the ball in our hands. And thankful for our defense right there, getting us that ball, getting that turnover. We're able to do that. But that's the NFL. I mean, that's what the NFL is about. Close games, winning the game at the end, and credit to everybody that played a part in this one.
And you got to figure that is a good thing for the Cowboys to win a game that they had to scrap, ugly game, if you will, both sides a little bit, because those are coming. They get the Rams when they get out of the bye. The Eagles are coming up as well. They still have to go on the road for Buffalo and Miami. So the schedule's going to be interesting and a lot of fun when the Cowboys get off the bye and as we move forward.
And really, when you look at 40-0, 30-10, a 28-16 loss, a 38-3 win, a 42-10 loss, to be in a dogfight and come out with a win.
They needed it.
They needed that, and they needed that win desperately. Although, did it have to be that close? Maybe if they played at the end of the first half a little differently, the game would have been different. We'll dive into the sackless effort from Mike McCarthy towards the end of the first half coming up. Plus, Charean Williams will join us at 5:15 here on the Blitz. If you're having any issues at the house with your plumbing, your heating, your AC, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC at 210-651-5899. 651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are full service, big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission, sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quartermoon, they are green certified. It was kind of chilly this morning, and based on some Facebook posts that I've seen, some of you actually turned on a heater this morning. Yeah, I'm not quite there yet, but you're getting close. Before you turn that heater on, you want to make sure it's ready. Quartermoon has great maintenance programs that ensures your unit is ready for every season. Get that scheduled. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899. 651-5899 or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
Check out the Jim Rome Show, weekdays at noon.
If you're San Antonio, there are benefits that come along with it. I will cut you the front of the line. We're going to hike the return.
On 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Get Macy's lowest prices of the season on incredible specials you need for fall. Like 55 to 65% off dressy and everyday coats for him and for her. 30 to 60% off dazzling fine jewelry during our diamond sale. And 65% off comfy sheets and bedding from Charter Club Damask to stay warm on cooler nights. Plus, download the app for even more great deals at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
With fall appliance savings at the Home Depot, we have laundry appliances that just fit. They'll fit your space, fit your needs, and they'll fit your budget too. Like a new LG laundry set that features a mega capacity washer to help you do more laundry in less time. And sensor dry technology to make sure nothing comes out damp or over dried. Final days to get up to $600 off select appliances, plus up to an extra $100 off select laundry sets. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid September 28th through October 18th. Cash Dryer Extra. U.S. only. See store online for details.
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters. You got to get to Mother's Window Tint right now, because if you do, it's National Pizza Month. And we're going to give you a free 18-inch one-topping pizza from Sophia's Pizzeria. Go to Mother's Window Tint today and get your windows tinted. Buy an alarm system and make sure you get a free pizza from Sophia's Pizzeria while you're there. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
Football season means grilling season, and Five Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks is your one stop for all your tailgating and home gating needs. With one of the best grilling sections, Five Oaks Ace Hardware has a huge selection of Traeger, Weber, Big Green Egg, and Blackstone, plus all your grill accessory needs with over 300 spices and rubs, over 20 brands of charcoal, wood chips, pellets, and everything you need for tailgating or home gating. Five Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks near Jones Maltzberger.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, I love this restaurant. Glad we got a table quickly. What does that sign say? Caution, wet floor? No, right next to it. If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of serious consequences from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60. I didn't know that.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. RSV vaccines, including Pfizer's, are available. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the Blitz, 2 to 6 on YouTube and always at sasportsstar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Eagles got a little help at wide receiver today. They signed veteran wideout Julio Jones to a one-year deal. The ALCS taking the day off before heading to Arlington for Game 3 tomorrow night. Rangers lead that best-of-7 set over the Astros 2-0. NLCS continues tonight. Game 2 between the Diamondbacks and the Phillies. Phillies lead 1-0. You can hear that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 6:30.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio.
The big day, Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Cowboys get the win last night, but at the end of the first half, they could have added points. Why do you think Mike McCarthy decided to let all that time run off the clock and he could take those timeouts into halftime and, I don't know, give them as a gift to a ball boy or something? I don't know what you do with those extra timeouts. Is it a lack of faith in his quarterback? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 on Twitter at Joe Reinagel 210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment there. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Mike McCarthy tried to explain his thought process there at the end of the first half.
Yeah, I think the end of the half, if you look at the series going down there, I think I've said it enough for a couple of times already. I mean, it's a bumpy game, and I think, you get in those spots. And I know when I call plays, you always have 2 play calls that you're, anticipating. The threshold for us is 7 seconds. Is, something that's, as far as determining which way we're going in that situation based on yard line, down a distance and that. So I definitely, I think we're right at 8, 7, 8, somewhere in there. And we just decided to play it safe instead. The other call would have been ozone, where you throw the ball into the end zone and give us a shot there. So I just felt the way the game was going. I think we had a holding penalty earlier in the series, so I just wanted to make sure we got the points getting out of there.
How tall is CD Lamb? Anybody know off the top of your head? 6'4", 6'5",
maybe 6'1", 6'2".
Is he? He's taller than that.
He's
isn't
really
he?
not.
Is it? It's okay, 6'2". I thought he was taller than that.
Yeah,
honestly did. Well, that I don't know.
I mean,
he's your tallest guy, though, right?
Here's your thing, or the Ferguson guy. You've got your tight end there. You only targeted him once yesterday. How do you, Mike McCarthy, constantly tell me you're about winning? That you're out there trying to win the game. Now, I know you went for it on a 4th down earlier and you missed it. And does that make you a little bit gun shy? But the TV guy that runs the clock thought there was a timeout. The ref thought there was a timeout. What do you mean? Are you sure? I mean, because everybody with a football mind takes a timeout. Here you have 2 of them, right? I just, although
you've got to try there, don't you?
Well,
you have to.
You've got timeouts there. I mean, did the Tony Pollard fumble last week scare you? He put one on the turf last night, although he was down.
I think you've got to go into the end zone there. You have to, even with the timeouts. But still, CD Lamb's playing his butt off. Throw it up to
Michael Gallup is the king of those kind of plays, right? That's what really got him paid. He can leap and make those catches in the back of the end zone. I mean, you have so many options, but with timeouts, there was time for you to actually run the ball. If you wanted to try to catch the Chargers off guard, like you did earlier when Dak Prescott scored on a run, everybody followed Pollard, and Dak was able to score with a wide open. I mean, that lane was ridiculous, right?
Yeah, it was a highway.
And so for you to not even give yourself an opportunity, it's chicken bleep. You played scared. You played scared. You settled for 3.
Yep, that's exactly
you at
what he
least
did.
Take a shot into the end zone. I don't think at this point you have to. All right, Dak, be careful. You didn't have to force anything. This wasn't like against Arizona where you had to score the touchdown. So force it in there, because if it gets picked off, doesn't matter. We're going to lose anyway. It's 4th down, and you had plenty of time to run a play. Hell, you could have run 2 plays with 2 timeouts.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, but look, Dak is smart enough, I think. I mean, you throw the football where only your guy can catch it, and if he's covered, you throw it into the 10th row, and then you bring out the field goal unit and kick the field goal.
Now,
I mean, but you got to try there.
You're at the Chargers' 14-yard line, okay? So a run play there with the time that you had, which was 14 seconds on the clock, after you ran the play with 14. That was the 3-yard pass to Pollard down to the 14 as I'm looking at the drive sheet. And so what was there, 7-8 seconds there? So you could run a pass play into the end zone. I heard him talking about, our time threshold is 7 seconds, right?
Wow.
But we just had a holding penalty. You're at the 14. That puts you at the 24. You're still within easy range, chip shot range for the best kicker in football. And what's his name?
Brandon Aubrey. Yes.
Right? So don't tell me that you're worried about the holding penalty there. The holding penalty would not have taken you out of range.
He doesn't trust his quarterback.
A 10-second runoff. Is there a 10-second runoff on a holding penalty? Well, no, you've got a timeout, which would have kept that 10 seconds, right? So, but
he doesn't trust his quarterback.
He doesn't trust his quarterback. He doesn't trust his line, and I don't think he trusts his wide receivers.
So Jerry tried to spin it in a way where, no, that's not how it is. It is how it is.
Although Jerry did say this morning on 105.3 The Fan that he would have liked to see another play there.
First of all, this is not an impassioned.
It's because you won. Had you lost?
Response to your question at all. But I thought we should have tried another pass in the end zone and manage the clock accordingly.
Do you think not doing that shows a lack of faith that Mike might have in Dak's ability to make that decision?
Not at all. Not at all. No, that doesn't reach that point with me at all. I just from the perspective I had, thought that we might be able to try it there. But I haven't talked to Mike about the call.
Yeah, I wonder how that's going to go. Yeah, Mike, come in here. Let's have a little Johnny Walker Black, and let's talk about this.
I mean, and the way that game was going, I mean, with 8 seconds, I mean, the reality is maybe you get an offsides call on the defense. You get them to jump, make it a little bit closer, a different kind of route. But again, you've got a Michael Gallup, you've got a Jake Ferguson, you've got a CeeDee Lamb.
You've got weapons.
You've got a Brandon Cooks.
Trust
and that
quarterback.
That play that they ran for Brandon Cooks was a brilliantly designed play where you had the 2 receivers on the left coming across, and then Brandon Cooks goes through all that mess underneath, and Dak backpedaling until he was clear and just threw him open. That was a great play design and great execution.
You got to try.
You're telling me you couldn't do something like that from the 14?
Well, I don't know about that same thing. Sure, you could have done that, but I'm thinking a corner route by either Lamb or Gallup or Cooks, any of them, and you throw it where only your guy can catch it. If you want to be safe, that's the way you're safe. And then chances are, what if you get a pass interference call? I mean, that was a possibility. CeeDee Lamb makes a great catch for the touchdown. There's all kinds of things there. He just wasted a play. Is what happened.
Well, he wasted an opportunity for a touchdown, and he settled for a field goal.
That's exactly right.
I mean, he was happy with the 3.
You're playing somebody else, Philly, San Francisco.
Well,
that might come back to bite you.
You can't tell me you're playing to win the game and settle for 3.
I agree.
You can't tell me that the importance of scoring. Think about what he told Robin Rudy when he was on with them on Friday morning. Points are such a premium. That's always the number one goal. That's what you're trying to do. And then you let all that time off and you settle for 3.
Yep.
I mean, if you miss that kick,
he knew he wasn't going to miss the kick. I mean, the guy's automatic.
Yeah, I mean, he is now, but at some point he's going to miss a kick. It's the NFL. I mean, the Moody guy for San Francisco, that's one that he doesn't normally miss. I just can't believe that you're going to tell me you're all about winning and that you trust your quarterback, that you trust all that. I don't even know if you trust your own play calling because your lack of success in the red zone. I think all of it there, that was a chicken bleep decision on the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
He should have gone for the touch. No doubt.
It's the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. We'll ask what Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk thinks. She joins us next here on the Blitz. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. If you need T-shirts screen printed, go see Sam. If you need your logo on any kind of shirt, whether it's a fishing shirt, a golf shirt, a jacket, a half zip, because it's almost half zip season, Sam will get you taken care of. If you need caps done, he has over 12,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps. He has over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices. Sam has all the big name brands like North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few. So call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or better yet, go by that massive showroom on San Pedro, a mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
It's R&R in the morning.
Wednesday on R&R in the morning, we hope Rob got the trash out. Jerry Jones has spoken. How's he feel about being 4-2 versus 3-3? And those pesky Rangers try to go up 3-0 on the Astros.
The Spurs are going to run it back. They take on the Rockets yet again. And Dr. Jason Garrett joins us. Going to be a good day. We'll start the party at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Don't let pain keep you from doing the things you love. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. Whether you've been living with chronic and nagging pain for years, or if you've recently experienced an injury, our goal is to get you out of pain as quickly as possible. Arasti is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, Arasti accepts most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. If you have big dreams or big projects, we hope you'll consider Ewald Kubota. From small Kubota compact tractors to construction equipment, Kubota is a name you can trust. Or if you aren't committed to buying just yet, we have a full line of equipment you can rent by the day, week, or month. We can even deliver it to your work site. Ewald Kubota is committed to providing excellent customer service and satisfaction. So come by one of our 11 locations. We look forward to serving you. Or visit us on the web at ewaldkubota.com.
It can happen in an instant. A car accident can change your life forever. From serious injuries to mounting medical bills to battling insurance companies, accidents make life harder than it should be. If you've been in an accident, George Salinas Injury Lawyers are here for you. They're local, experienced, and ready to fight for results that make a difference. If you've been injured, don't call just any lawyer. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit georgesalinas.com.
George gets justice.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Your brain is an amazing thing. But as you get older, it naturally begins to change, causing a lack of sharpness or even trouble with recall. Thankfully, the breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain and actually improves memory. The secret is an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. Based on a clinical study of subgroups of individuals who are cognitively normal or mildly impaired, Prevagen has been shown to improve memory. A Pharmacy Times national survey of pharmacists rated Prevagen the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand for the 5th year in a row. You can find it in the vitamin aisle in stores everywhere without a prescription. Help your memory. Try Prevagen today. Prevagen. Healthier brain, better life. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters. You got to get to Mother's Window Tint right now, because if you do, it's National Pizza Month, and we're going to give you a free 18-inch one-topping pizza from Sophia's Pizzeria. Go to Mother's Window Tint today and get your windows tinted. Buy an alarm system and make sure you get a free pizza from Sophia's Pizzeria while you're there. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Hey, Wednesday on R&R in the morning, Jerry speaks. The Cowboys didn't F around. They took care of business. Spurs get back into rerun time as they got the Rockets yet again, and Dr. Jason Garrett joins us. Going to be a good day. Now back to the Blitz. Hey, Joe, welcome back to the studio. I left you a Coke.
Yeah, you always do, Rob.
Yeah.
Is it over there?
Yeah, he actually
look at
did
that.
leave you one.
Yeah, look at that.
The sloppiness of Rob Thompson.
Thank you, Rob. That was very, very nice of you.
The ants for his Pop-Tart crumbs.
He could have left me a Pop-Tart.
Rob's not leaving food, just crumbs, just for the ants. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line after the Cowboys get a win on Monday Night Football. But as you can imagine, Charean, a lot of the conversation today about the end of the first half and Mike McCarthy deciding not to go for a touchdown but settle for the field goal. For me, I mean, if you're going to talk to me about winning like he often does, and it's all about winning, how do you not at least take a shot into the end zone there?
Maybe you saw what the Giants did on Sunday night. Is that possible? No, I'm with you. In case you didn't see it, the Giants really screwed up the play at the end of the half. Tyrod Taylor audibled into a run play with only seconds left, and they didn't score and didn't have time to kick the field goal, didn't have time to spike the ball. So I kid, because I don't think there's anyone, no one agrees with what he did, including Jerry Jones, by the way, today. Yeah. No one agrees with what Mike McCarthy did. And, you know, they had 2 timeouts. They got the ball back on their own 29 with 59 seconds left. That should be enough time. They went from 50 seconds to 28 seconds after an 11-yard pass to Gallup. Maybe you call one there, and that would have left you a little more time. And then 14 seconds on the Pollard pass. I question that pass. Like, why are you throwing that pass? You're at their 17 with 14 seconds left, and you throw the ball across the middle for a very short gain. Like, if it's me, I want to throw that ball into the end zone or near the end zone and give my player a chance to put it in the end zone. So I didn't like that play right there. And then, of course, they let the time run down to 3 seconds from that point on and kicked the field goal. So, you know, you had plenty of time there to take a couple of shots into the end zone. You burned the one on the short pass to Pollard, and then the next one, and then you don't even throw a next one. There is no next one. You got to trust your quarterback, you know, and I think this is part of playing conservatively, not turning the ball over. Yes, they had the special teams turnover. I get that. That was a weird play, freak play. Let's throw that out. I know you can't throw it out, but I'm just saying, they played very conservatively, I thought, in that game to not turn it over. And they thought they could beat the Chargers with their defense, and they did. It worked. It was a game plan to win that game without turning the ball over, without making mistakes. And during the Chargers, we dare you to beat us because we don't think you can beat us unless we help you out. And they did help them out on the one turnover, but other than that, they didn't help them out, and they were exactly right. They were right. And I think they can do that against what I would call mediocre, middle-of-the-road teams. They can do that. If it's the 49ers, if it's the Eagles, perhaps if it's the Rams coming up. The Rams have a great offense. And perhaps if it's the Rams. So, you know, I don't know that they're going to be able to play like that against those sorts of teams with good quarterbacks or with high-caliber talent on offense that can beat your defense, perhaps a good running back, all of those things. I just don't know that they can play like they did last night, but I think that was the game plan for last night, and kudos to them. It worked. It was a good game plan because they got the win, and I think that's all they set out to do. They weren't out to win style points last night, and they certainly didn't. As Jerry Jones said, it was a sloppy game, and it was. It was a garbage game, and I don't care what Brandon Staley says. He said it was a tough game. 2 teams looked good. No, there was nothing about that game that looked good, except for the Cowboys getting the win, which was their whole intent.
Absolutely. And obviously in the NFL, wins are hard to come by. But I got to ask you this, Charean, and just going back to the Mike McCarthy decision there before the half. Do you feel like maybe he just does not have 100% confidence in number 4?
Well, he said today that's not the case, but you do wonder that. Yeah, you wonder that. And because of their red zone failures this season, Dak obviously turned it over in the red zone against the Cardinals, and that cost them opportunities there. But, they're 26 right now in red zone efficiency, 23 possessions, 9 touchdowns, 11 field goals. And maybe he just doesn't feel good about where they are in the red zone. Their inability to get the ball into the end zone makes him, a little queasy to take some chances down there. But again, at some point against the really good teams in this league, the 49ers, the Eagles, all those good teams that you're going to play, the Dolphins are coming up. You're going to have to take some of those chances, and you're going to have to trust number 4 to make those plays, and either makes them or he doesn't make them, but you're going to have to do that to have a chance to win those games. This was a good game plan for this team. It's not going to be a good game plan for every team.
Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk, staying on that, because a lack of trust in your quarterback, although I thought Dak played a really good game last night, probably his best of the season, but also – do you think it's a lack of trust in the offensive line? Because last night he said, he had a holding penalty on there, although a holding penalty doesn't take him out of field goal range in that situation. A lack of trust in the receivers? Or do you think maybe there's a lack of trust in his own play calling? Because, man, he just looks uncomfortable right in every camera shot last night. He just looked so stressed out. Like I don't know if he's having fun as the play caller.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's all of that. I don't think it's necessarily Dak Prescott. I think it's all of that. I think it's the offensive line's ability to protect Dak Prescott and not pick up holding penalties. It's the receivers. Brandon Cooks finally had his first touchdown as a Cowboy. That was good to see from the Cowboys standpoint. But, I don't know how much trust they have in those other receivers aside from CeeDee Lamb. There's obviously a lot of trust there. And they can't run the ball right now, really. They can't. And I thought they would get Dak more involved in the red zone play. And he had the touchdown run. I'm like, okay, finally, they're starting to use his legs, which they need to do in the red zone. I think they need to do more of that as well. But last night, running backs, 18 carries, 42 yards. That's not good enough. Dak was their leading rusher last night. And so you've got to be able to run the ball better. And that goes back to why they fired Kellen Moore, because they wanted to run the ball more, to eat up the clock, to rely on the defense. Well, you're not doing that right now. So I think all of that plays into his lack of trust and probably some of his play calling too, because they haven't been good in the red zone. So they've got to figure that out, whatever that is, to play better in the red zone. That's an awful lot of possessions in the red zone. And they've had a ton of those as goal-to-goal plays and weren't able to get in. And I really think they miss Ezekiel Elliott. They miss that big, powerful running back. His yards per carry wasn't good last year, but he was really good in those short yardage goal line plays. And they don't have that this year, and I think they really miss that. And maybe you look at bringing in a guy like a Leonard Fournette. I wouldn't be opposed to that, to have them have that big guy. You're not going to ask him to do a lot, but I think he can do what you need him to do down there on the goal line when you are in those short yardage situations and down the goal line and need a yard or 2 yards to get it in. I think he can be a guy who can do that.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see with the trade deadline coming up. That's for sure. Charean, I feel really bad for Michael Gallup. He just doesn't seem the same and has never come back. Last night he was targeted 10 times, 3 catches. He just doesn't seem like he's all the way back for whatever reason. Are you seeing the same thing?
Yeah, I really am. And it's unfortunate because before his ACL injury, I made the case he might have been their number 1 receiver. And I thought he was going to get a ton of money on the free agent market because I just thought he was that good and he was playing that guy. He was really a good receiver and he just hasn't gotten back to that level. And I thought he would this year. I didn't think he would last year, but just how long it takes to come back from you saw how long Odell Beckham, and I know it was his second one, but you saw how long he stayed out until he came back, and he still hadn't been the same. But it just takes a while. So I thought, all right, his second year back, he's going to get back to being the player that they re-signed. They re-signed thinking he could get back to that player, and he obviously hasn't done that. And if he continues not to do that, this will be his last season with the Cowboys. They will move on, and he'll be a salary cap casualty in the offseason. But he hasn't been good enough as a third receiver right now. Not good enough as a second receiver. However you want to put he and Brandon Cooks, neither one of those guys has been good enough at this point.
Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk joining us here on the Blitz as she does every Tuesday. Charean, you look at the game last night and it was ugly. And, Mike McCarthy called it bumpy. Cowboys do get the win, but they only get 20 points against a statistically bad defense. But they hold a really good offense to 17 points. I don't know which part I should be more impressed with or more disgusted by.
Yeah, I was probably more impressed with the run defense because I thought with Austin Eckler coming back, I know he wasn't 100%, but I still thought they'd be able to run the ball against the Cowboys because, shoot, everyone's been able to run against the Cowboys when they tried to do that, and the Chargers just weren't able to do that. Cowboys still ranked 17th in rush defense. They've got to get better at that, but I thought they were really good at that yesterday, and so that to me was one of the most encouraging things I saw. Now they're playing a pocket quarterback. Justin Herbert is not going to beat you with his feet, and they got some guys coming up who can beat you with their feet as well as their arm. So that may be something to watch going forward. But I was really encouraged by their run defense last night.
Charean, I've got to ask you on the subject of Justin Herbert. This guy, when he came in as a rookie, I thought, man, he's going to be one of the great Super Bowls, all that stuff. He doesn't seem like he's improved over the 4 years, at least what I get to watch of him. What are your thoughts on Herbert?
Well, I don't know if I should really say this publicly, but I texted our group text earlier today, and I said, it's just a serious question. Is Justin Herbert the most overrated player in the NFL? And at some point, you've got to justify the contract. You've got to justify people saying you're one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, and we haven't seen it. What we've seen is one Pro Bowl. He was a Pro Bowl starter a couple years ago. We've seen one playoff appearance, no division titles. I realize he plays in the same division as Patrick Mahomes, but if you're one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, shouldn't you be right there with the Chiefs contending for that? I think so. And on top of that, he has no playoff wins. You blew a 27-point lead against Jacksonville last year. So, yeah, at some point, it's got to turn into wins. It can't just be he looks great throwing the football, and he does look great throwing the football. But it's got to be more than that. You've got to make plays when it matters most. You've got to get your team to the playoffs somehow, some way. That talent that the Chargers have right now, I would argue is better than some of the talent probably than Tom Brady had. I would argue that it might be close. I don't think it's better, but it might be close to what the Chiefs have right now. And they're just absolutely not getting it done. And so, yes, I think the jury is way out on him. And he looks great throwing the football, but at some point it's got to be more than that. It's got to be wins. It's got to be getting in the playoffs. It's got to be division titles. It's got to be winning playoff games. We've seen it with Joe Burrow. I mean, Joe Burrow has had a better career to me so far than Justin Herbert has. He only has one Pro Bowl, but I think Joe Burrow was consistently getting his team into the playoffs, getting them to the championship game, getting them to one Super Bowl. I have way more faith in Joe Burrow than I have in Justin Herbert.
Mm-hmm. Well said. Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk. We're up against the time wall, but the important question, Charean. I know you're up in the DFW area, but I know you're an Astros fan. Down 0-2 as the series shifts back up to Arlington. What's your confidence level that Houston comes back and wins this series?
Not very good, but I do think they're going to make it a series. I think they're going to win handedly tomorrow against Scherzer coming back from that injury, and then we'll see what happens. We all know they're really good on the road, and we know what they did in Arlington. They only lost one game in Arlington this year, so I think they can win at least 2, but they need to win 3 in my mind to have a shot to win the series.
And for the love of you won the division to get home field, which might have been the worst thing for the Houston Astros. Amen. When it all boils down, because they've been awful at home. Charean, always appreciate it. Always great to talk with the great Charean Williams. Make sure you follow her on Twitter at NFL Charean as she joins us on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
Stevens Roofing, that's your go-to if you've got a problem with your roof. And of course, we had that hot, dry summer and banging down on your roof day after day after day. Now the cold weather's coming and the rain that will come with it as well. If you think you have a problem with your roof, or if you just want to get it checked out, keep Stevens Roofing phone number by your side, 210-785-0994. You can also get them online at stevensroofing.net. Doesn't matter what kind of project you have. If you have a commercial project, they can handle that. You want to put a metal roof on your house? Stevens Roofing can do that as well. Look, Stevens Roofing is licensed by the city of San Antonio, and estimates are always free. So be sure your roof is safe and secure, and do it with Stevens Roofing, your local roofer. 210-785-0994 or online at stevensroofing.net. And don't forget their saying, buy local, stay local, trust local with Stevens Roofing. 210-785-0994.
San Antonio is one of my homes away from home.
It's the Jim Rome Show.
It is great to be home. And I said home.
Weekdays at noon on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The San Antonio Quarterback Club is celebrating their 76th year. The San Antonio Quarterback Club meets every Tuesday and is a proud supporter of Gridiron Heroes Spinal Cord Injury Foundation. This week's speaker is UIW head coach Clint Killa and former Cardinals coach, now Texas State head coach G.J. Kinney. Should be a great conversation that begins at 11 at the Corey Golf Club. The San Antonio Quarterback Club. For more info, go to saqbclub.com. That's saqbclub.com.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. In the short amount of time I have to talk to you, I want you to remember two things. First, if you or a family member is injured in an auto collision, remember, you need to call an attorney as soon as you can after the collision. I don't have enough time to tell you the many, many reasons why, but trust me, the earlier you contact an attorney, the better. Second, when you call is as important as who you call. I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've been representing people injured in motor vehicle and trucking collisions for 28 years. Each placed their trust in me to do everything it takes to attain a just and fair recovery and to get honest, trustworthy legal advice. You can trust me to do the same for you. If you or a family member has been injured in an auto collision, call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400 or at my website, alawyerforus.com.
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters. We've got a deal on window tint, and we've got a deal on car alarms too. You got to get to Mother's Window Tint right now, because if you do, it's National Pizza Month, and we're going to give you a free 18-inch one-topping pizza from Sophia's Pizzeria. That's right. Come get your windows tinted. Come buy an auto alarm, get your stereo installed, and we're going to give you a free pizza. It makes going to Mother's Window Tint that much more special. All stores open Tuesday through Saturday in San Antonio, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. On the web at motherswindowtint.com. Like us on Facebook. Hey, I got an idea. Go to Mother's Window Tint today and get your windows tinted. Buy an alarm system and make sure you get a free pizza from Sophia's Pizzeria while you're there. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
My daughter is normally a little goofball, but after a bad night's sleep, she's too tired to be anything. That's why I trust Pure Z's Kids. Pure Z's Kids is mindfully formulated just for kids. Their non-habit forming, drug-free products help my daughter fall asleep naturally, giving her the rest to be her best.
I'm a dinosaur.
Her best dinosaur.
Pure Z's Kids, for ages 4 and up when needed. Explore our products at zquill.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Exergen thermometers are a top choice of medical professionals at highly ranked hospitals across the U.S. With kids back at school, keeping them healthy is important. Make Exergen thermometers the chosen thermometer for your home or business to check for fever, where accuracy matters. When measuring temperature at home and at work, use an Exergen thermometer to keep your family and colleagues safe. Available at Walgreens. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Attention poker playing listeners, come out with me tomorrow and play a hand at SA Card House. I'm going to be hanging out with the boys from the Blitz starting at 2 p.m. If you've ever wanted to check out SA Card House, then tomorrow is going to be the time to do it.
It's the Mike McCarthy Show every Friday morning at 7 and 9 with R&R in the morning.
I'm all about winning. So when it has to do with winning, then it's part of our operation, our messaging, and our outlook.
A look at the Cowboys' upcoming game presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Tomorrow, the Blitz is going to be live out at the SA Card House, 281 in Bitters Road. Apparently, we're going to have some great prizes while we're out there. They didn't tell me what. It's just right here says we'll have great prizes to give away at SA Card House. Now, we do have some Zach Sabbath tickets to give away right now. They're a Black Sabbath cover band coming to the Aztec Theater January 17th. You got plenty of time to win the tickets and get a babysitter because you're going to win those tickets if you're caller number 9 right now. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 9, you win tickets to see Zach Sabbath.
All right.
January 17th at the Aztec Theater.
So is Zach like the leader of the band?
I don't know.
I see the play on the Black Sabbath, Zach.
Maybe
It's
there's
kind of random, isn't it?
You got a Google box.
It's kind of random, isn't
you
it?
could Google and see if.
Well, I figured you're my rock and roll expert over
Dude,
there.
I'm really good at real at bands, not cover bands.
Not cover
I was going to say
bands.
real bands, not cover bands, but yes, although there are some really good cover bands out there that I don't mind seeing.
Yes, I saw a good. I can't tell you what they were. It was a Journey cover band.
It's called Eclipse.
Is that who they
If
were?
you saw them
Maybe
around
that's it,
town,
yeah.
because they're really good.
Oh, they were really good. Yeah.
There's a good Tom Petty cover band called the Damn Torpedoes.
All right.
They're really good.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
see, there you go. You
There's
know
some-
about all those, but you don't know. You can't tell me if Zach is the head guy.
I don't know. Well, let's see here. We'll Google Zach Sabbath.
Yeah, all the people listening and watching on YouTube and everything. Yeah, it could help a dude out.
As everybody should know, Zach Sabbath, a Black Sabbath cover band featuring guitarist and vocalist Zach Wilde.
See there? That's all I needed to know. He's the main dude.
Uh-huh.
Zach Sabbath.
According to Wikipedia, Zach Wilde actually plays a lot with Ozzy, and the bassist plays with Ozzy and Rob Zombie, and the drummer plays for Danzig and Queen of Hell. I want these tickets now. Those are some great bands. Queen of the Stone Age drummer Joey Castillo is a part of this.
See that? There you go.
I just don't know why they're playing Black Sabbath music when a lot of these guys could be doing their own stuff.
Well, I don't know.
Queens of the Stone Age is a fantastic band.
So are all of those cover bands? Is that what you just said?
No, Queen of the Stone Age. Sometimes I wonder if you're really a part of society.
Well, I don't know. So Queen of what is who?
Queen of the Stone Age is a great band.
Okay.
Saw them in Memphis. One time they were playing at the Beale Street Music Festival. They were great. Danzig. Also a real band.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie.
Okay.
You've heard of Rob Zombie,
I have.
I'm sure.
Yes, I have.
Right. We're not talking about Rob Thompson when he shows up in the morning before his show, because that is a Rob Zombie at that point, leaving Pop-Tart crumbs all over the kitchen, which now has created an ant problem here at the radio station. You've heard of Ozzy, right?
I've heard of Ozzy. Yeah.
All right.
He ate a bat.
And pissed on the Alamo.
He pissed on the Alamo.
See, I know all about Ozzy.
All of that. All right, now I'm in. I want to go see Zach Sabbath.
Just like that. Now I got to set a pair of tickets aside.
Well, yeah.
One Google and now you're in.
Well, that's what the Google box is for.
Zach Sabbath.
I mean, I remember the last Black Sabbath show supposedly in the U.S. was at the AT&T Center before it was the Frost Bank Center.
Okay.
And literally, I thought Ozzy was half dead on stage.
Well, he probably was.
I mean, he sounded good. He just didn't move around very, very good. And he would just kind of sway, and you didn't know if he was
We haven't
kind of
been moving
dancing
around very good for 50 years now.
You didn't know if he was dancing or about to fall over.
Hey, that's sex, drugs, and rock and roll. You know what I mean? That dude, it's taking its toll on Ozzy.
Absolutely. Speaking of, we've talked about this airline before. Over in Europe, there's an airline called EasyJet. And you remember we talked about there was an EasyJet flight. Guy was going to celebrate his birthday and join the Mile High Club on EasyJet with
some lady volunteered.
I mean, they just met on the airline. It's called EasyJet. Let's go.
Yeah.
And it's one of those budget airlines. There was a flight headed to London, and it was delayed for 3.5 hours while people are sitting on the plane ready to go. And then they just canceled it altogether because somebody pooped on the bathroom floor. Now, they were in the bathroom, inches away from a toilet, but they went on the floor.
Now, was it the runny kind or the solid one?
It doesn't say. It's not like that airline where the guy was all over the airplane.
Right.
I mean, this was contained to the bathroom.
Because why does it take 3.5 hours to pick up poop?
I mean, whose job responsibility is that?
Well, I mean, I go home and the dog poops on the floor. It takes me about 5 seconds.
Yeah, because you own the dog. If I went to your house and there was, it's, I mean, I don't know. I mean, in the job description, other duties is assigned. Maybe that's what they're talking about.
Other duties? No pun intended. Oh, well, that's unfortunate for those people.
Yeah. It's, can you imagine you're sitting on the plane 3.5 hours because somebody missed the toilet?
No.
And then they cancel the flight altogether?
See, that's what I don't get. I mean, 3.5 hours, that thing ought to have been spotless and sanitized and everything else.
But you made me sit on the plane for 3.5 hours.
And it probably didn't smell very good.
And apparently you couldn't go into the bathroom because it was, you know what I mean?
You just go on the floor. What's the difference? It probably didn't smell very good anyway.
Oh, my goodness. It's time for our injury update.
I think the doc can help us with this.
By the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Dr. Kristen Baldwin joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Any flight nightmares for you, Doc?
No, not too many. Not too many on my side here, but I enjoyed hearing about it.
Yeah, I don't mind hearing about it when it's on somebody else's flight.
Yeah, I don't want to be a part of it.
I've not had to deal with anything nutty like that, but that would be
nutty.
That would be crazy.
Wow.
Nothing gets by Joe Reinagle. You're like a good goalie. All right, I got to ask you about Aaron Rodgers. And typically speaking, you have Achilles surgery, and I've seen people say that they'll be in a cast for 4 to 6 weeks. He was seen at the game the other night. It's been less than a month, no cast. He's walking around. Aaron Rodgers on Pat McAfee today, Doc, gave an update on where he's at in his recovery. Then I want to get your thoughts after we hear from Aaron Rodgers.
Look, I think we're kind of way ahead, Pat, in just even saying that. There's just markers. You saw me walk without crutches and throw on the field. Like, that's another marker is going to be jogging. And then another marker is going to be going through a pregame workout probably and getting on the practice field. And all these are going to take time. It's not just going to be, boom, 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 boom. There's critical markers that I have to hit as far as single leg strength and being able to do heel raises and being able to do explosive movements. And these are all progressions that take time. So this is obviously we're ahead of schedule. There's a lot of factors to that. There's the way I've attacked the rehab. There's obviously the surgery that Dr. Elitrosh did. There's the rehab that I've done and kind of the round-the-clock approach that I've had. There's implementing the diet that I've been doing as well. And then just the power of the mind and the power of the manifestation of the desires. All those things together still doesn't get you back on the field. You have to hit a bunch of different things and be feeling a certain way.
Power of the mind, Doc. I mean, the expectation that he could return this year, does that seem real based on what we've seen and the markers in his mind set?
Well, he certainly seems to be ahead of a vast majority of people that have Achilles repair surgery. But but still, you're still waiting for that Achilles to heal, and for him to come back before the end of the season is very low probability. But I wouldn't put it, completely out of the question. But certainly the chances are pretty slim.
Well, it'd be remarkable if he actually gets back on the field this season. Unbelievable, in fact. So we'll wait and see. I've got to ask you about Brock Bowers, the tight end from Georgia. Doc, he's set to undergo tightrope surgery to repair a high ankle sprain. What is tightrope surgery?
Well, basically, high ankle sprain involves the ligament between the two leg bones, so the tibia and the fibula, down close to the ankle, and they take a long time to heal. And so one of the procedures you can do is you basically put some suture between the two bones and holds them really under tension, and it allows that ligament to hopefully scar in a little bit quicker. And then you have a little bit of artificial, suture holding it in place to give it some extra strength. And those sutures are basically connected to a small button on either side of the leg going through that little joint, and reinforces it. So they're hoping that's going to allow him to come back a little bit quicker from that significant high ankle sprain.
And with that, I mean, he's one of the best tight ends in college football. He's going to be a high draft pick. Will this have any long-lasting impact on his career, his future?
It should not, as long as everything goes well with his rehab here right after the little procedure, he should be able to come back and be very effective. It still takes time for your body to heal a high ankle sprain, whether you have this procedure done or not. So, it is going to speed it up. It's going to make it a little bit stronger, quicker. But, it still takes time for it to heal. I don't think long-term there should be any significant factors, unless there was some other injuries in his ankle that they're not, discussing.
All right, Doc, I got to ask you about a couple of 49ers, and the most important one is their running back, Christian McCaffrey. It says he suffered an oblique and ribs. Do those go hand in hand, or can you describe where that injury could be?
Yeah, so it's basically an abdominal core injury, so to speak, more on the side versus the front of your abdominal area. And it can be very, debilitating, and especially in somebody who's, so shifty like he is. You're using your core every single movement on the field. And I'm sure he strained it really, really significantly in order for him to have to sit out. So it can be quite debilitating, and hopefully he'll be back and not re-aggravated. That's the concern with his injuries. You return too soon, and then you're re-injured, just like we see with hamstrings every year. And that could potentially put him out for longer. So we'll see how he does.
Man, that's going to affect a lot of people's fantasy football. So
no
does
doubt.
What's going on with Deshaun Watson. And I don't understand what's going on with Deshaun. He's been medically cleared, but he's not practicing or playing. The Cleveland Plain Dealer is reporting that Deshaun Watson is dealing with a strain-like deep contusion in his rotator cuff and could miss multiple games. But he's been medically cleared to play, but he's not practicing. I don't understand what's going on with Watson at all.
Yeah, it's hard to know for sure, but certainly it sounds like he's still being limited in his ability to play and potentially throw. The doctors are basically saying keep rehabbing in, and when he feels like he's ready to go, he's okay to go back on the field. But it doesn't seem like he's quite as functional as he needs to be and able to throw without discomfort. So I'm sure they're holding him out until he's fully healthy.
Doc, Trevor Lawrence of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they say he suffered a knee injury. I'm not sure what kind it is, but he was out at practice today. They've got a game on Thursday. Obviously, I know, but is that an injury that you can come back pretty quick from?
Again, it really depends on what that means. A knee injury can mean so many different things, or a little knee sprain. Can mean so many different things. So if it is truly a small little minor knock, potentially he can come back. If it's more of a significant MCL sprain or something to that extent, then it's going to be hard for him to recover on such a short notice. But I guess we'll find out come Thursday.
Yeah, it's a short week for sure. And then you think about quarterback injuries. Anthony Richardson probably going to opt to have surgery and miss the rest of the year, according to the Colts owner. Although the team is. It's kind of one of those, is the team telling him to get surgery, or is his private doctor and his agent, his personal team telling him get surgery, shut it down? When you're dealing with a situation like that, Doc, I know the team has the best interest of their investment in mind with the player, but at the same time, who's protecting the player? Is it the team or is his own doctor?
Well, I think it's hopefully a combination. They're looking out for the person first and foremost, and for his career, and the best opportunity for him to have a long career and keep his playing days going. But you have to get multiple opinions at times, and whether that be from along with your agent at different doctors or through the team physician. There's a lot of different communication between the specialists. So it's hopefully a group effort, and they're making the right choice for him.
Good stuff, Dr. Christian Baldwin. Always appreciate the knowledge and the insight and the plain stories.
Anytime, guys.
Good stuff, Dr. Christian Baldwin with our injury update powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at tsaog.com. He joins us, like all our guests, on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
Did you see that super fan for the Chargers last night? Apparently, there's a picture going around Twitter that she's a big Minnesota Vikings fan too.
Well, I mean, at one point she might have been. Clearly, she loves misery and frustration.
That's a setup.
Well, I mean, she was on with Pat McAfee earlier today, and a Charger fan for life.
Yeah,
kind of like Rudy J's a Bear fan for life.
Yeah, apparently
until
not.
He's not.
Now he's a Cowboys fan and a Dak defender.
It's a pretty good life.
Wow.
It's a pretty good life. We've got some baseball playoffs coming up at 6:30 here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, right after Extra Innings with James Pledger, which is next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast because you do.